Adrian Barrett is on the boundary line. We'll talk to Adrian in a moment. The Saints go to the right of screen. So Burt and Everitt to go at it. The Saints go in with a very tall team tonight. Everitt went early, won the tap clearly, pushed forward by Burt, one of the co-captains. Fletcher, the midfield battles are going to be important. Wills, quick kick, gets the ball forward. Tempo of the game will be fascinating here. They were disappointing the Dockers a fortnight ago against the Hawks. Out of play. Adrian Barrett, always great to welcome you to Friday Night Football.
Thanks very much, Bruce. Great to be, as you said, a crowd building up, but very, very cool down here. 6-degree minimum tonight, so good footy weather. The news from the rooms was the battle of the Spiders. That's the big thing tonight. Spida Everitt versus Spida Burton.
Thanks, Adrian. Speaking of Adrian, Fletcher's kick for goals on Bianchi. He's gone! That was at the post! Oh, what a great effort. That came out of nowhere. So the Dockers get the first score. Fletcher letting loose from about 50, getting his second possession, and a minor score to the Dockers. Now, there's an infringement here. The Saints are going to get a free kick at the back end of the 50 square by the look of it, and taking my eyes off all of that. And the handball from Mitchell comes back to Wakeland, and Wakeland's kicked the ball pretty well out wide, taken by Hudson.
This is Max Hudson for St Kilda. He's just behind the wing. Long kick. Gets it close to half forward. Well taken there by Harvey. Couldn't break away. Now the attempted gather by Mitchell. Opportunity now here for Pickett. Kick well smothered. Ball rebounds. Back to Mitchell. Highlighted by Bruce in the preview. Opportunity for Carroll. Hand pass across. Callahan. Short kick. Close to the line. Very close to the line. Dodd helps it forward. Pickett gets back. Oh, he's well confronted there for the Dockers by Michael Brown. And the Dockers very early look as though they're making their presence felt. And that is exactly what I'm asking for from them. Just to have a red-hot go at the opposition and the opposition's body. If you're going to go down, make sure they hurt when they come off the ground. Ball taken out of the air there. But the free kick has been found from the boundary throw. It looks as though it's going to Everitt. It was taken by Brown. No, it's against Everitt. It will go to Brown. So Brown to kick the Dockers into their forward 50. It's the second time they've been there. Fletcher hitting the post just a few minutes ago. Back goes Young. A contest right in front of the Dockers goal. Opportunity for Clement. Can't break away. It's only about 12 or 13 metres from the Dockers goal. And the ball will be bounced.
Good play then by Burke just to get back there on that occasion and help out. In fact, it was Matthew Young who went back there just to help out Maxie Hudson, who was on one-on-one duel with Clive Waterhouse.
Saw the umpires a moment ago. Shane Wakeland with long sleeves tonight and Darryl Short. So that certainly helps us. Hudson, after he kicked the footy, so down the field, coming to Thompson at half-back, between half-back and centre wing. Howlett, Nash, Ackland, the umpires tonight. We saw the temperature, 15 at the moment, going down to 7. So as Adrian said, it's going to be pretty chilly after half-time. Remember, it's pretty early here at Perth, about 6:45 Western time. Jones on hands and knees, back to McGovern. Now McGovern's got Norris inside, he finds him okay. Norris at half-back, well that's confidence, got away from Aussie Jones. That's not good by Spida Burton, so Spida to Spida. Now Peter Everett's put that on a bit, I reckon.
Doesn't win too many fans with the umpires, that. The umpire will remember that.
A wry smile. Now, Everitt. Outstanding player. Huge loss in the finals last year. Lowe's got it. So, co-captain Stuart Lowe, who started the season with 4 goals in each of the first 2 matches, he's dried up a bit lately, and he and Perth, I'm just trying to think, I don't think neither of them played, did they, against the West Coast in Perth a couple of weeks ago when the Saints were successful. So their first trip to Perth this season, and I reckon Stan would think to himself, if I could win 2 in Perth this year, that would be a huge bonus in terms of trying to get a top 4 position at the end of the home and away season. So Stuart Lowe, leading goal kicker at the club a couple of years straight. In 95 and 96, he hasn't made it. Or has he? That could be a goal. It's floated through. Well, that's slack at the back, isn't it? That should have been cut off by a Docker defender. A missed kick, basically, going through for a goal.
Well, Big Burton was back there. He really should have been able to get a hand to that ball. In fact, it was his area in the centre of the ground which saw the Saints go forward via Peter Everitt. and that really highlights the difference between these two sides coming into this game. The St Kilda side has players who can mark inside their 50 and convert, and that's where the Dockers have really struggled.
So the first goal of the game, kicked by Stuart Lowe. St Kilda lead by 5 points. Umpire just waiting for maybe the all clear here. Now he's going to restart play. The bounce favours Everitt. Oh, brilliantly to the back. Harvey gets the hand pass away, chopped off by Wills. Thompson is there, but Ozzie Jones, look at the little skilled player, ran onto his right, kicks it in short, too short. Mark taken by Parker. Off the left foot, Parker goes out wide. Here's a good race. Winmar and kick it skillfully. Very well done. Gets around onto his right. Short, and Fletcher is marked. Hand pass. Bond, very wide is Chris Bond. Goes short, a little too short. It's chopped off. The ball at the back. Waterhouse. Hudgston's got him. The ball spills. Dale kick it again. Opportunity now for the Dockers. That was young Holland hand passing in the area there of Chris Bond. Nothing much he could do, and well tackled. The ball locked up 50 metres from the Dockers goal. Boundary throw in, the official website of the AFL on screen. So if you want all the information, current and past, it's all there as we screen now. Luke Toyer, Peter Mann looks like, is it, on the bench?
Gary Durkay and Scott Chisholm.
So the message there for Peter Mann. Now the umpire's found a free kick all the way down the ground, and it might be going to Mitchell, is it? No. Well, he's ticking Mitchell off.
Well, Bond is having quite a bit to say there to Mitchell. In fact, they weren't teammates last year. Bond just arriving at the club over the summer months, and Mitchell going to St Kilda. The umpire now taking the ball back to where it was at half back.
Why don't the umpires come and have a talk to the two players like he's doing?
Well, he's actually given a free kick against Mitchell on Bond, I think, and it's to be taken now by Burton. Explain that, will you, Robbo?
Well, that does read. If you've infringed down the ground, you wouldn't give it back to the umpire down here where Burton's kicking from and let him bounce it. It's got to be. If it's an infringement, it's a free kick, and Burton's free kick is missed. Much to the delight of his immediate opponent, Peter Everitt, the two Spider-Men. Little chuckle from both, so good feeling there.
Adrian Barrett. Yeah, he might know something about that, Adrian.
At this stage, there's no report. There's been no report. The emergency umpire's still out there, though, boys.
Did you see what happened? We sort of missed it, Adrian.
It was a full-blown wrestle between the two players. Bond probably trying to upset Gavin Mitchell and him retaliating, but nothing too severe, I don't think.
Low short to Peckett, cut off there by Fletcher. Fletcher trying to give a handball off, actually gets away from the tackle, now can deliver the full forward. Waterhouse to try and run on it with Wakeland. Waterhouse has he made it? I think he's got it. The Dockers have got it. It's a frantic opening, isn't it? There's a few things happening here, but the good sign for Fremantle is that this is a very different start to the one we saw a fortnight ago.
Well, the good sign is that they're actually kicking the ball. On that occasion, Fletcher just not trying to kick the perfect kick, just kicked it towards the top of the square there. And Waterhouse, who's very good on a one-on-one situation, then getting his foot to the ball. As we see there, just getting Wakeland out of position, had the last headed him.
Bounce back in the centre. Everitt out wide. Contest. Callaghan hacks it out of mid-air towards half forward. Punched away by Wakeland. Gathered by Burton. Hasn't he got some ability, this bloke? In he goes, the big Spider. But misses. Off to the left. Two behinds to Matthew Burton.
He's looking dangerous when he goes forward, isn't he? He's contesting the ruck against Peter Everitt, and then he's just running into his own forward line. And he's really taken the initiative against Big Spider Everitt, who'll now be thinking twice about what happens after the next centre bounce.
Peckett to kick it back in for St Kilda out wide. Everitt not quite controlling that. Peter Everitt knocked over for a boundary throw-in. St Kilda 6, 1 goal straight. Of course, kicked by Stuart Lowe. Fremantle 9, their goal coming from Clive Waterhouse. Everitt, Wills, very slick, back to kick it in short, out in front Waterhouse. That was a bit similar to last week, but it certainly bounced Taken now by Clement. Handball away. This is a chance for young Holland, playing just his second game. Holland has kicked a goal.
Well, they're looking far more dangerous, aren't they, than we've seen them look, especially in the last 3 weeks. We saw them a couple of weeks ago against Hawthorn here, and they really struggled to manufacture goals when they went forward. But already tonight, they're just looking more dangerous, even at ground level there, the way they worked the ball forward there by Waterhouse to knock it free. And then Clement had a runner on the outside, and that's young Holland, who is in fact not playing his first game, he's playing his second game of AFL football.
2-3 to a goal. So 15-6. Spida out of the centre, that's Burt. Long kick by Gale to full forward, a penetrating kick, Dot at the back, and Peckett, and a boundary throw in.
What sort of a game is Matthew Burt playing at the moment? He's just been inspiring, hasn't he? Go down to Adrian Barrich on the boundary line.
Tim, just on Docker, Brodie Holland, he's highly rated by Jared Measham, who's described him as a young Robert Harvey, which is an enormous rap.
It's a fair one, isn't it, Barrow? I mean, got to carry a little bit on your back there. It's like you're the top weight in the Melbourne Cup every week, but he's kicked a goal in only his second match, and as Tim Watson said prior, had a very good athletic record and looks the part. So it'll be a ball up about 20 metres out. Well, I think we're in for a good one here. 15-6. You get a feeling when you come to a match, don't you, in the first 5 minutes of a game?
Well, it was important that Fremantle stamped a bit of authority early after their last 3 weeks' performances.
And they're doing that at the moment. Very early days, and the Saints will believe in themselves after what they did against the Eagles here, but the signs are good. Harvey's kick only as far as Wills. Got about 400 games coming back into the team when you look at Wills, O'Reilly, Chisholm and Mann coming back, so a lot of experience tonight. The team looks a lot better on paper. Wills to go with a long one from about 55. He's kicked it magnificently and touched on the line. Gee, got a lot of height and a lot of distance and a lot of accuracy. So the Dockers, little lead at the moment, 10 points. That's a beautiful kick. That perfect through the air, the trajectory, and look how close that was, being touched by Wakeland. Winmar's got hold of it at centre half-back, gives it off to Harvey.
Well, Harvey did the kicking in, so 2 possessions in that passage of play. Out wide, Jones knocked off the football unfairly there by Norris, according to the umpire. And Aussie Jones to take the free kick. He's between left half-back and left centre wing. He looks to play on, and he'll transfer play across the ground. Hudgton on his own, looks to play on, kicks it into the middle. Nathan Burke, a little too high for that player. Punched away by Callaghan. Gathered here by Justin Peckett, gets back. Maybe forced to kick with the left, yes. Bit of a mongrel punt towards half-forward. Not quite taken back there by Carroll. Ball spills forward for Wakeland. He can't control it, and it goes over for a boundary throw in right in front of the big scoreboard here at the WACA. We're having a look now at St Kilda's bench player Beveridge,
Tim Elliott,
Joey McLaren, and looked like the other one might have been Trianides. The ball close to the boundary line, kept in, but a good mark taken by Carroll. Handballs off to Wills. Wills running well in support of the player with the football, kicks out wide. Jones and Norris knocks the ball forward, only as far as Heatley gathers. Aussie Jones can't control it, and the other player there, number 38, is Anthony Jones. So the Jones boys at it already here at the WACA. Boundary throw in between wing and left half forward, favouring St Kilda. They've kicked a goal through Stuart Lowe, but the Dockers have got off to a good start. Brodie Holland and Clive Waterhouse have kicked goals for the Dockers.
Winmar's handball. Zilla in there hard, pushes the ball forward. Everitt on hands and knees. Over the top of him, Matthew Burton there. Fletcher's handball was good. He's been constructive early. Gale's kick low, filled the hole at centre half-back and takes a strong mark. Well, this will be interesting. He's going to have to come back over the mark. I don't think he'll give the free kick up. They normally don't take it off them these days. Just told Stewie to be a little bit careful, and he pushes wide. This is danger. Waterhouse probably should have been onto that a bit quicker. Hudson gets it from Winmar. Hudson times the ball well, kicks it to centre wing. Stretch from the back came from Darryl Wakeland. Couldn't take the mark. Well played Heatley to push forward in the Mitchell direction. That was interesting by Wills. Got his foot to the ball in the end. He is an improviser to centre wing. Callaghan, who's one of the more consistent players at the Dockers. Good take by Clement. He had a nice bounce. confidently, back to Wheels, under pressure though, so the play by Clement wasn't all that good. Parker and Waterhouse, no talking at all, bad play. And Winmar mops up and kicks the ball into the centre where Lappin's got hold of it.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if St Kilda can move this ball quick enough and capitalise on that turnover caused by the misunderstanding between Waterhouse and his teammate going back with the flight of the ball. Aussie Jones off the left foot, a high kick into the pocket. Everitt from behind, but a good mark taken by Stephen O'Reilly in front of that pack of three players. O'Reilly, experienced campaigner, goes in short to Parker. Parker's at centre half back, kicks in short. Mark is taken there by Gale. Gale manning up at the moment on Robert Harvey. Ball at centre half forward. Jones is well tackled by Young front on, and the umpire sees that as all fair. And above board, he will bounce right on the 50-metre line, and it is favouring the Dockers. Free kicks, certainly favouring St Kilda, 5-1. The tap out to the back. Harvey gets it out wide. This is Lappin. Lappin goes wider still. Out there, the marking contest. The ball spills for Norrish. Norrish to assess and then deliver. Kicks it towards the forward pocket area. Now the crunch is on. Wakeland gets the hand pass back. But under pressure there was Hudgton.
In a free kick, Robbo.
What was that for, Tim?
He was held when he didn't have the ball. It's interesting to see how many times, though, the Saints actually try to play through Aussie Jones's wing.
Winmar to low. Zilla at half-back. Wheels onto him. Zilla's kick to centre wing. Mitchell with him, Bond. Oh, well played, Burke, but gone and holding it. Threw it away in the end. Gee, that was a terrific effort by Bond, because Burke's first movement was a terrific one as well, but Bond was able to get back. Bond, you can see, set himself for Mitchell tonight, can't you? He's going to pester him all night, try and upset him, and the Dockers' only free kick tonight was a turnaround from an umpiring point of view, and Burton got a free kick. Well, Clement gets it from Waterhouse and goes bang and misses the behind. But at least they're getting their hands on the footy, those forwards. And it's 2 goals, 5 now, so 7 shots to 1 here. Pickett delivers to half-back.
That poor kicking, though, is keeping St Kilda in the game in this early part, isn't it? They really could have been hurt a lot on the scoreboard by now.
Oh, beautiful mark by Jones. As Tim said, they attacked through Jones so often, the Saints. Took a one-hander. Aussie delivers. Everitt the target. Healy chips in. Nice take. Kick 6 against the West Coast. He and Everitt were a couple of the stars there. Healy inside 50. Lappin, good stretch. Free kick, I think, going to the Dockers against Heatley. And it'll be taken by O'Reilly. It is just great to have him at the back from Fremantle's point of view. Change coming up, Brown coming off, and Durkay on for the Dockers.
Just checking some of those key matchups too, as you said before. Bond is picking up Mitchell. Michael Gale's picking up Harvey. Thompson is playing on Fletcher. And Aussie Jones and Norwich are man-to-man.
Well, Will's favoured there by just a little mistake by Winmar. Good kick to Burton. Burton is on the left-hand point of the square. Left-hand forward point of the square, so that makes him about 65 metres from goal. And a rather ordinary kick there by Matthew Burton. Slips off the side of his boot, really. Wasn't all that well controlled. Taken away here by Shane Wakeland, receiving from low. Now Lappin. Well, no one there but McGovern for Fremantle. McGovern's kick. Kicks it to the front of the 10-metre square. Where are the Crummers? They're all St Kilda. Harvey out wide to Lowe. Lowe working overtime across half-back and full-back. Burke and Harvey combined. Harvey's kick out wide. Punched away. Good, strong punch provided there by Carroll. Ball spills now. Andrew Thompson's a chance. Can't control the footy. Taken away here by young Holland, the goal kicker, one of the goal kickers for Fremantle. Kicks into the middle of the ground. Disputed ball. It's not disputed. Young's controlled it beautifully. Gets it to Zilla. Zilla down the ground. And is that a mark? Not paid to Carroll. So St Kilda's Crummers. Mitchell back to Thompson. Handball astray. Parker, a high ball back to the middle of the ground. Stand under this and play fair. Stuart Lowe tried to get it down. Robert Harvey gets it back to Young. Young across his left shoulder, a high ball out wide, should be, and he's in the finish, well marked by Healy. Between wing and right half forward.
Pete Everett's gone forward. He's actually playing it full forward, and Stewie Lowe is the man doing the ruck work around the ground.
Healy's kick is in Everett's direction. Matthew Burton to get back to try and takes some of the height advantage away. Lappin's handball out wide. Carroll, who's done pretty well early, gets away and kicks the ball to centre wing. Clement front spot. Shane Maitland with him. Good take by Holland. He looks likely, doesn't he? Kicks to the space. Waterhouse, Hudson, Wills and Jones. Hudson did it beautifully. Waterhouse didn't put any pressure on him in the end. That was not good play by Clive. Harvey getting a lot of the footy early. Strolls away. Goes onto the left. Chip pass. Gets to Shane Maitland at centre wing.
And Bruce, you mentioned Holland. As soon as he delivered that ball, straight off the ground.
Okay. So Holland off the ground. So Toya on. 3 kicks, 1 handball, 1 goal to Holland. And Tim Elliott getting set. He's played about 70 reserves games for the Saints in the last 3.5 seasons, so it's great to see him getting his first run of senior football. Mitchell played for a pretty soft free kick.
It wasn't finished, wasn't it? Yes. Mitchell, who was a highlighted player in our preview to this big match, the kick towards full forward, and that's a free kick. In the marking contest, Carroll has given away a free kick that will be taken by David Sirakowski, and he is about 50 metres from goal.
No doubt about that free kick then, over the shoulder. And the Dockers have got their matchups pretty right in their defence at the moment.
So after a goal early by Stuart Lowe, Sirakowski's kick is way offline. It's out of bounds on the full. Disappointing result. Every result pleases someone, particularly the Dockers supporters. Their team has got off to a pretty good start. They've kicked 2 goals 5 to St Kilda just a goal. And one of their goal kickers is presently on the interchange bench. Burton making position down near the left half-back area. Peter Everitt to come in and contest. Sirakowski from behind. Carroll still there. Mitchell did reasonably well. So did Carroll in the finish. Wills, Callaghan, and comes back to Dodd. Dodd's kick, high, close to half forward, punched away by Peckett. May not go out of bounds, yes it will. Close to the line, it trundles over in front of James Clement and will be thrown in left half forward, about 85 to 90 metres from the Dockers goal. Adrian Barrage.
Peter Mann about to be introduced into the game off the bench, and Aussie Jones is now gone on to Andrew Wills to try to quieten him down.
So bounce about 60 metres out now from the Dockers goal. They lead 2-5 to a goal. There's the interchange area. Big night, you'd think, for Peter Mann, who has been injured but has been pretty disappointing. Captain of the Fremantle Dockers team.
Bruce, Nathan Burke has now gone on to Adrian Fletcher too.
So the 2 big spiders. I don't think we've ever had a spider on in league footy before. Burton wins it. Harvey chopped off. That was good play by the Dockers. Clement couldn't quite get the handball away. Zilla in close. Some tight footy here. Burton, Fletcher. Was he legged? No. In fact, it'll be a bounce. David Howler coming in. It's been good Fletcher early in this match. 2 and 3. There's a change. Gale, man on. Let's see if the captain can impose himself early. Young to pick him up. Matthew Burke just gets over Peter Everitt. Nathan Burke, smothered by Callaghan, still in play. Harvey, clever, but the tackle was good on him. Quick kick away. Dodge was the tackler. Low. Jones gets it. Jones away and kicks to full forward with a beauty.
Jones, a lovely kick out in front, which is exactly where the full forward wants it. And Heatley is marked on his chest 50 metres from goal. Aussie Jones, 5 kicks and 1 mark so far in this game. Certain amount of respect from the opposition coach by the fact that he's being manned up presently by Norrish, who is a renowned checker for the Dockers. But this is Heatley going for St Kilda's second goal. The kick may not even reach. Low, eventually, well done there by Carroll, just pushing Stuart Lowe, which would be a fair task on its own, through for a rush behind for St Kilda.
Interesting, Rob. We've had 3 kicks to that end. Sirakowski missed. That was an ordinary kick by Heatley standards, and Lowe's kick that was a goal was ordinary too. You would think, looking at what we've seen so far, the scoring in is the left of screen.
Well, there's a mark taken there by, was it Knowles? Was it Thompson? May have been up in towards full forward. Thompson still there. McGovern, little kick, close to the defensive 50. Taken here by Jones. Close to the boundary line. Aussie Jones, the kick chopped off, well marked by Trent Carroll. plays on quickly across the full back line. Not far enough. Heatley was able to chip in O'Reilly. Still there for Jason Heatley. He's got a bit of a chance here. The short kick, a little too short there for Lappin. He can't really give it to anyone in particular. Tries to get it to Mitchell. Now what's that being deemed as? Throwing the ball? And the free kick will go to the Dockers to be taken back there by Carroll.
Wide to Wills. Wills finding some space. He's been busy early. Beautiful long kick. Looking for Fletcher. That's a nice mark on Burke. So Fletcher in good nick early. They'll be pleased with what they've had from Fletcher. Former Saint. Beautiful kick to Waterhouse. Former Saint is almost a former everything, isn't he, Fletcher? He and Dale Picker played his season together at St Kilda, and they've both been around the place. That's a perfect kick and a great take by Waterhouse.
It was also a very good mark with a one-on-one contest there by Fletcher against Burke too. But that was the perfect kick out in front of Waterhouse, who started at the top of the 10-metre square.
Need this, Tim, because they've kicked inaccurately, and this really should be a goal. Waterhouse has missed. So you don't get a whole lot easier chances than that. He's kicked 1-1. The other one was a little foot to the ball with the ball coming over the top.
Adrian Barrage, can you hear me?
We can, Robbo.
Is there a wind advantage? Would it be going down to that end where the Dockers are kicking?
Robbo, there's hardly any breeze of what it is. It's Arctic, let me tell you. It's very cold, but it's hardly any breeze at all.
Fair enough. Healy accepts the kick in. Handball's away there to Wakeland. Wakeland's kick off his left foot is not too bad. Covers good ground. And the player there is Elliott. Beaten on this occasion by Carroll. Now the ball spills back here to Dodd. Dodd close to the line. Little kick, good vision. Saw Burton and found that player. Handball away. Toya quickly. In trouble now is Durkay, but he's able to slip the tackle. Yes, he does. Now he's gone. Surely. Gee, you've got plenty of time to get rid of the ball, and the mark taken by Waterhouse. What did you think of the opportunity there for Durkay?
Well, I thought it was actually holding the ball, but he did break the tackle. He really wasn't impeded totally.
So?
Some good work off the ball here too by some players just trying to protect him. That might have been the one there, but he did get the ball away quickly.
Fair enough. Waterhouse, a chance for his second goal. Oh dear. Don't look at the replay of that one, Clive. He's missed everything. 1 goal, 1 and 1 out of bounds. And Jared.
Cannot believe it.
We've seen some highlights of a happier Jared Neesham, I'm sure. Norwich, slippery little handball. Gee, there's some good play here. Toya, ball spills back to Jones. Jones, kick number 7. And fortuitously, lands in the arms there of Healy. He looks to play on, kicks across the ground. Wakeland made pretty good position. He's got Winmar. Winmar's alone at half forward, can run on. Assess, kicks in towards full forward. It may bounce through. It's going close to the line and eventually hurried over for a behind to the Saints.
He just didn't have enough on that kick, did he? Because he was going actually there into the forward line to Stewie Lowe. The ball went over the top of his head and it really didn't have enough pace on it then to dribble it through the goals. And already this game we're seeing Freo playing probably a little bit differently than what we've seen him play in the past. They've had 47 kicks in this first quarter and 23 handballs. Normally that handball to kick ratio is much higher.
So the siren to end proceedings. The first term here at the WACA between Fremantle, the home side, St Kilda, who a couple of weeks ago beat the West Coast Eagles over at Subiaco, but they've got the job ahead of them. It looks like St Kilda, they've kicked 1 goal 2. The Fremantle Dockers lead, they've kicked 2 goals 6.
So the Saints kicking to the left of screen. A bit lucky to get away with that quarter, only trailing by 10. They haven't played good footy, and yet there's so much in this game. Wills, free kick, advantage given. Gale kicks it to full forward. Waterhouse, front spot, good play. Hudson to get a fist to it. Waterhouse after it, hard. Ball comes out. Loose ball, Saints onto it in a hurry, trying to half force it in, half keep it out of play and make sure they don't give a free kick away. And it's going to be a bounce. But the feeling up here was definitely that the Saints, as we look at the umpires, David Howlett, Mark Nash, David Ackland, the Saints got away with a pretty average first quarter, and the scoreboard is only 2 goals to 1. Wakeland's high ball. Matthew Burton, Stuart Lowe. Not often that Stuart looks pretty small. He does on that occasion. Handball by Burke to the spaces. Durkay came off the interchange. Handball back, Jones gets his kick it in time to mongrel kick really to centre half forward. Clever by Kickett, forcing forward. Waterhouse is fast. Hodgson's with him. Hodgson and Waterhouse, they want a free kick. Kickett beautifully done. Round his body, hasn't quite got the strength. Peter Mann took it, couldn't take it in the end. He had control of the footy. Now Everitt's got hold of it, and a bit too easily and cleverly onto his right boot to Burke, but the ball didn't quite carry. Now Burke in the back pocket, gets away, runs as hard as he can, kicks it as far as he can, and Lowe takes a ripper over the top.
Well, I think the air went out of that football then when Stuart Lowe grabbed hold of it. Short, where Harvey has taken the mark, and they are presenting themselves, the Dockers. Norwich just letting Robert Harvey know that he was around. Peter Everitt takes the mark. He can go further forward to Lowe, but he elected to go wide to Young. Young's kick is very much to the left half forward area. Gathered here by Trianides. Hand pass, they've got a chance here. Thompson will go in and kick a goal. Saints are second on board.
And that's the difference, isn't it? All the first quarter, the Dockers had the play inside their 50. They couldn't convert. The Saints go forward on this occasion. Good play there by Trianides. Good running there by Thompson. The ball's squared up by hand. We see this big grab here by Stewie Lowe again. He's presenting himself as a target from about half back. I guess the Saints would be happier if he was taking those marks closer to goal, but they do have some other marking power down there in Heatley.
Kick a goal, Thompson, can't he? He's a pretty good finisher. 2-6-2-2. So the Saints close it right up again. Callaghan and also Thompson. Harvey at 50 goes for goal. Doesn't time it all that well, and McGovern gets his hands on it, and it dribbles over the line. The Harvey kick was a floater, but was straight, and if McGovern hadn't got back, it would have gone through.
He's actually kicked 4-9 for the year now, Robert Harvey.
He's not a huge goal kicker, is he? Kelly's got 15 goals so far this season, so they've often been compared as the two top players in the midfield area in the AFL.
He's not a great goal kicker, but he is their best player at actually carrying the ball inside their offensive 50.
McGovern kicks the ball to about 65 metres. Everitt, look away handball to Winmar, was clever enough. Winmar short. Trianides. The Saints have come out well in the second quarter. They're finding space everywhere. Short again to Lappin. Now Lappin's about 40 metres out on a 50-degree angle. Gavin Mitchell and Chris Bond. Lappin short, goes back inside to Winmar.
Nothing much gain there. No. I mean, Winmar kicked it to Lappin and then got it back, and he's probably a metre or so further away from goal.
The angle's better though. He's probably opened it up by about another 15 degrees.
He'll kick on 50 and gets under it and kicks it beautifully for goal. Gee, that hurts, doesn't it? That really stings, Tim. I mean, they've gone. Lovely goal by Thompson. Winmar kicks it from 50. Waterhouse had two kicks inside, both of them at about 45, and reaches a 1.1 out of bounds on the fall.
Well, it's an important part of football. You really have to take your chances when you go forward. And Nicky Winmar is a good converter, although he's kicked 6-5 this year, so he's been reasonably inaccurate. But that bit of play there by Lappin just opened the angle up a bit, made it a bit easier.
So 8 possessions to Nicky Winmar, his 5th mark, his first goal. Real struggle here. Harvey gets it to Thompson, one of the goal kickers for St Kilda. Andrew Thompson out wide. Lappin, nearly swooping on it there was Mitchell. Jones under pressure, tackled well by Heatley. Ball spills for Lappin. Lappin around onto his right foot, kicks in short. Gee, I think he thought maybe there was going to be a lead provided, and in the finish it wasn't there. The ball spilling just to the front there of Stuart Lowe and his opponent Stephen O'Reilly, and O'Reilly gets the free kick, maybe for a push in the back. Out wide goes to Bond. Bond's forced to kick long in the area of Callaghan. Not a bad kick by Chris Bond in the finish. Callaghan not having to run all that far out of line, and he's trying to get past Peter Everitt. Eventually forced to kick across his body, and very well attempt there by Fletcher. I thought he might have taken the mark. Durkay confronted by Young, and the ball spills off Gary. Durkay over for a throw-in.
Good play then by big Spida Everitt on the wing there a moment ago too. He just didn't overcommit himself. He just held Callaghan there, made him kick over the top of him, and just made it a little bit more difficult for him to pinpoint his kick going forward.
Winmar having to do the ruck work, giving away plenty of centimetres. Gathered here by Durkay once again. Hooks the kick, misses. So 2-7. Inaccurate kicking, and they've had a couple of chances. You'd have to say that Waterhouse, the shot that he had in the first quarter, and he had 2 shots. He kicked it behind and 1 out of bounds on the full. Maybe he could have kicked at least 1 goal. So 2-7 to 3-3. Saints lead. Peckett's kick into Hudgton. He's still inside the defensive 50.
Across the ground, cheeky, isn't it? To Harvey. Saints in front for the first time tonight after that Winmar goal. Peckett stopping and propping. Doesn't want to give it off, but Zilla. Well done, Waterhouse, to put the pressure on. Wakeland looking for a free kick. Then pushes the ball forward with a handball. Try and eat his quick hands. Back to Wakeland, to Harvey. Harvey beautifully done. Reflex handball to Winmar. Winmar wide. Peckett's come up from the back pocket. Kicks to half forward. And a beautiful kick. Gee, that was good play. Mitchell on the end of it. Some wonderful skills by the Saints on the far wing there, with Harvey and Winmar getting involved and Peckett backing up. And Mitchell for the first time tonight really getting away.
It was a great kick to space though by Peckett. He just kicked it over the top of Bond's head. He knew that Mitchell was actually running into space behind him. That's a great feature of modern day football, isn't it? The offensive play now, when Saints grab hold of the ball, they all run as hard as they can into space.
So Mitchell to increase the lead for the Saints and try and kick their 3rd goal for the quarter. The fans and the Docker players are giving him a hard time tonight. You'd expect that, your first match back, and he misses. But he's disappointed, but the Saints are 3 points in front. It's 22-19.
Gee, I hope it doesn't continue swinging his arms around like that when he took the mark, trying to just let Chris Bond know that he wasn't going to take any nonsense. But those sort of indiscriminate things can lead to maybe even a report. So concentrate on the footy, Gavin Mitchell.
He's a niggling player though, isn't he, Chris Bond? He does
well, he can drive you mad, yep.
Of players at different times, and you really do need to be able to keep your composure.
So the Dockers get the ball back towards centre wing. Burton down to Fletcher, quickly tackled by Burke. Burke having a little trouble getting into this match. He's had 4 kicks and 1 hand pass, but we've become used to Nathan Burke getting up around 15 to 16 possessions in half a game of football. Hand pass away there by Burke, gathered by Burton, away to Callaghan. Callaghan's little kick, Clement. Just grabbed there by Shane Wakeland as he was about to get a second grab at the footy. Umpire sees that as an infringement, and the free kick will go to Clement. Having another look here, and the umpire awarding the free kick to the Dockers forward, James Clement. Runs around and then kicks it high to the 50-metre line. Good mark taken by Burke. In the finish, probably the only player to judge it. High kick to the goal square, putting the pressure, and a great leap and mark by Wills. The excitement machine of the Fremantle Dockers, Andrew Wills. He's marked only 13, 14 metres out directly in front.
And that really wasn't good play then by Aussie Jones. Jones is actually playing against Wills. Wills has taken him away from the midfield. He's actually playing himself deep in the forward line. And I think the Dockers' brains trust to be quite happy to have Aussie Jones away from that midfield. But on that occasion, Jones, expecting his teammate to take the mark, actually didn't go with Wills or didn't block his run to the ball.
So Wills for his first goal of the game, and he kicks accurately. So Wills has kicked the Dockers' 3rd goal, and they lead by 3 points.
Well, it was big Spida Burton who delivered the ball forward. He worked really hard to find himself some space to get on the end of that kick. And then, as I mentioned before, Aussie Jones, who's actually playing against Wills, running with him at the moment. Wills lining up deep in the forward line. And they'll be quite happy to have Aussie Jones right out of the play and down there in the back pocket.
So Wills' goal puts the Dockers back in front. Burton and Everett against one another. They've both had a fair bit of the football in this match. It's a good kick by Spida a moment ago. He just placed it up to the 10-metre square.
He's been pretty good tonight, actually. He's really trying to work Spida Everett around the ground too.
He's had 8 possessions in terms of kicks and handballs. Free kick there against Fletcher, going to Everett. He took his run, and it's a careless free kick, so Everett's got it in the centre square. We saw Dodd a moment ago getting ready to come on. Everett's kick to half forward. Up was Carroll. Heatley's got hold of the footy. Can't quite get a handle on it. Zilla tries to weave his way through. kicks for goal. McGovern, well, that's the second time he's done that. He's got back. Should have really taken the mark on both occasions. That one was a bit easier than the other, and it's a behind. McGovern to kick it in, so the score closes again.
I think some sides would be happy to concede a point though, Bruce, if they really believe that perhaps they've got a good method of kicking the ball, a good strategy of kicking the ball out.
McGovern hasn't got it past Harvey, but it was a good effort by Jones to force the spoil, and the handball inside is very, very good indeed, and Holland belts it to half forward. Contest there with Shane Wakeland in the front spot. Peckett's got hold of it at half back, kicks back to centre wing, half volley by Norris, but the tackle on him was good by Harvey. Boundary throw in. Adrian Barrage.
Bruce, just as Brad Dodd comes on, it was another interesting interchange just happened. The Ablett-esque Clive Waterhouse is off the ground and Scott Chisholm is onto the forward line.
Gee, you're keen there, Adrian, the Ablett-esque Clive Waterhouse.
For some parts of him anyway.
Good on you, Barrett. And another boundary throw in. Fremantle lead by 2 points. And again, that's what do you do there?
Well, we have to keep mentioning that because the two Spiders are playing tonight, Robbo.
Is that it, is it?
Yeah.
Well, fair enough. And a contest on centre wing. Zilla, Mitchell, missed the target. McGovern forces a throw in. So 3 goals, 8. And there's Waterhouse sitting on the bench. The Dockers 3-7 actually, and St Kilda 3-5, a 2-point game. Wakeland was a real hand pass. Gale, Fletcher, Winmar and Young. Out wide Hudgton. Wider still. This kick to Trianides. His opponent Carroll. Hand pass back. Winmar gets past Carroll. Good Shepherd provided in the finish by the teammate in Trianides. Back towards Lappin, well taken by Bond. Very, very definite Chris Bond. And the goal of the night so far, no, he's just missed. Gee, that was a fantastic passage of play by Chris Bond. And if they take a leaf out of his book, I'm sure that this match will be in the balance until the last few minutes. It may even be a Dockers victory.
Critical turnover then. Nicky Winmar going back inside. He had to hit that target.
Oh, that's a good mark by Norris. Jones belted the ball back in with a long kick, and Norris put up his arm and it's stuck. He's about 65 metres out. 26-23. This game really settling down for a battle now. The kick to full forward. Man tried to get rid of Wakeland. Kicker tried to barge through. Clement turned his back on it for a moment. Mitchell runs it over. And is it going to be a behind? It is.
Good play then by Spida Burton too. When the ball was out there ready to be kicked, he actually went forward of the kick and he pulled Stewie Lowe back out again, who really wanted to be back where that contest was. And that's smart play. Spida Burton working really hard tonight.
Young short to Harvey, then Harvey runs back into the corridor area, and beautiful kick to Jones. It's a great penetration. Jones has kicked wide, finds his man in McLaren. He's off the interchange bench. McLaren, high ball, gets a fair bit of distance though, well inside 50, or big fly there by O'Reilly, or Jones I should say. Everitt's handball is good, and Trianides kicks the goal, a bit too easy. Just too many flying in the end for the Dockers. There was nobody at the back, and the Saints back in front.
And big Spida Burton's just gone off the ground, and Brown is on the ground. You're quite right, Brett, they didn't have enough at ground level on that occasion. It was a kick to a pack situation, and O'Reilly, when you go this high and you commit yourself like that, you've really got to take the ball. In fact, it was Jones who went high. O'Reilly was staying down. And it was good play there by Spida Everitt. You don't always have to take the mark in the air, do you? You can sit down sometimes and do just as much damage.
So a very good passage of play, advantaging the Saints there, and a smart kick by Trianides for their 4th goal. Umpires found a free kick here. It'll go to St Kilda. The advantage is with the Saints. The ball finishes with Peckett. Peckett's kick in towards half forward. It spills to the back. Trianides tries to create something out of nothing. Gathered by Parker. Handball across the line. Carroll taken to the ground. Parker leaves it behind. Aussie Jones looking there maybe for Healy. Parker to recover his position. Kicks it out wide. This is Holland, one of the Dockers goal kickers in the first quarter. The kick is good by Holland, and it's well marked down in front of us here by Chisholm. Chisholm in turn, goes to the leading Wills, tries to make the half volley, does not succeed. Gathered here by Durkay, the opposite, number 19, Zilla, dispossesses and then tries to get it to Burke, knocked over for a throw-in.
Interesting to see the Saints not happy with Wills and Jones, that match-up. So Zilla now has gone down to Wills as we go down to Adrian Barrage on the boundary line.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Stephen Zilla now doing the job on Andrew Wills and very, very tight.
Burke roves the pack, kicks it high, ball lands close to the middle of the ground. Great recovery by Kickett. Gets the hand pass away in the direction of Fletcher. Back to Dale Kickett. In turn to Norrish. Norrish is a long way from goal, but he sets it up in the front of the square. Wills coming out. High flyer. Couldn't take the mark. Stuart Lowe. Awkward bouncing ball. Clement and Chisholm. And held up there by Wakeland and Harvey for a bounce right in front of the Fremantle goal, about 25 metres out.
Just back on that point again, as we see the handballs there, St Kilda really throwing the ball around, or handballing the ball around this second term.
Durkay, good, no, just missing. Beveridge coming on for the Saints, we saw. So Durkay, they kicked 6-18 last week at Cardinia Park, Fremantle. They're 3-10 so far this week. Beveridge on the ground. Durkay's had a couple of chances. It's not a bad attempt, that one. Young gets it now, Lowe's the target, but McGovern's got it. Free kick against the Dockers, against Kickett, I think, for interfering with Lowe. And Lowe's got it at half-back. Lowe playing pretty deep tonight in a lot of the match, as Tim said. A lot of his marking and possessions have been at about half-back. Holland, handball wide, looking for Carroll, boundary throw.
He's really tried to make himself a target on the kick-ins, Stewie Lowe. And what the Saints try to do with their kick-ins is they go to one side of the ground and then they try and square the ball back up again, and you can see the players all breaking down the other side of the ground where the space is.
Hudson back on, rather Waterhouse back on as Holland's kick inside 50. There's Lowe making a contest of it. Here's Hudson, who ran up to Stan Waterhouse. Handball good to Young. Young's going to take man on and gets around him pretty easily. Handball to Wakeland was not all that good. Put him under pressure. Back to Lowe. Lowe misses the kick now. An important mark here. Oh, Mitchell did it well. Wills might be lucky to get away with no 50 here. In fact, it's going to be 50. It was a very, very careful Mitchell.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's silly. That's really, really silly.
It'll be interesting to see what the umpire does, because
it's going to take the 50 off him.
good, that was good umpiring.
Yep,
Clever
it's common sense. So no 50. Young gets it and finds Beveridge.
That's good common sense umpiring on that occasion.
Yep. And Mitchell was reported last week and got off. Now he's just got to be careful here. I mean, Wills' bump on him was too strong. In fact, a couple of blokes this year have probably been reported for not much less than that. Everitt's got it. Back to Thompson, but as Tim Watson said, it was common sense umpiring to take the 50 off and keep the free kick. Kick for goal by McLaren, and O'Reilly there. Still struggling a bit, Heatley, though that ball was not delivered all that well.
He's not moving around like he did last year, though, Heatley. Last year he was really finding the spaces.
28-29, close game here.
Boundary throw in, right forward pocket for St Kilda. Beveridge leaves it behind. That looks like a kick for goal by Winmar, was it? Traianides got another goal. 2 goals to Jason Traianides, and St Kilda get their 5th. Jared Neesham not too happy, but certainly that player there would be pleased with his efforts so far in this game.
Well, it was just a goal that came out of absolutely nothing. Just the presence of mind to swing the ball round on his left foot. He's an opportunist type player, and that's exactly what he's done in this second term since he's been on. He's been in the action when the ball's gone forward, good at ground level.
So Jason Traianides, 2 goals. Pretty ordinary bounce. Gathered by Wills, ball spills. Holland, well tackled by Mitchell, kicked forward by Peckett. In towards the pocket. The big fella rakes it in, couldn't quite control it. Desperate defence by the Dockers. The ball spills in front of Jason Traianides over for a boundary throw-in. Only a matter of metres around from St Kilda's goal.
And wasn't that fantastic tackle then by Mitchell? The ball was actually going to go towards the Dockers' goal. He applied the tackle. There was a turnover, and now the Saints have it deep in their own forward line.
With the boundary throw in, Brown ambitious at the back, kick it, pushes forward only as far as Harvey. Harvey's handball, Jones went to the ground and then was out of throw by McLaren, back to Harvey. Harvey almost gets it taken off him. Well done, Harvey. Gets the ball back and then under pressure kicks in the Everitt direction. Everitt goes to ground. Shane Parker's got it. Heatley forces him out and a boundary throw in. So the Saints really pushing here. Matthew Burton coming back on the ground. Here's Harvey. Second effort was great.
He's just able to shrug his shoulders, isn't he?
Beautiful balance, hasn't he? O'Reilly, only as far as Harvey. Back, Beveridge, can be a sharpshooter. Close, very close, might have got it. He has. Well, they're killing them with their good kicking, aren't they? I mean, they've kicked some terrific goals this quarter, and the Saints now sneak right away. 6-5 to 3-10.
Well, they've had 2 less shots on goal than the Dockers, but they're now starting to give themselves a bit of a handy lead. And Robert Harvey doesn't always have to do the damage with his feet, does the damage with his hands, a bit like Michael Voss on that occasion, just to space out the Beveridge. Beveridge had time to steady, and as Bruce called, he is a sharp shooter.
Well, certainly what Stan Olves would have been looking for. Luke Beveridge on the ground, only a matter of moments, and has kicked St Kilda's 6th goal. Dodd gets the hand pass away. Ball comes back to Norrish, back to Dodd. Dodd with his right foot kicks towards full forward. Man couldn't take the mark. Just forced forward with numbers there by the Dockers in front of Chisholm. Just trundles over for a throw-in. 41 plays 28. 5 minutes left in the first half. Peter Mann still having difficulty troubling the statisticians. Came onto the ground in the second term. Stuart Lowe from the back gets a big punch from behind Burton, gathered by Kickett, can't crash through the tackle. Usually you're going to be penalised for that. Clement gathers, gives away meterage to Fletcher. Fletcher out wide. Callaghan is a beautiful kick normally. Left foot from inside 50. Callaghan goes for goal and Wills couldn't control it. It goes over for a behind to Fremantle. Callaghan, 8 kicks, 1 hand pass, 2 marks. Young to kick in, goes short. Well gathered by Zilla, back to Young. Young around his opponent and kicks it out wide. Good mark taken there by Mitchell. Didn't have much space and the one grab mark was excellent.
They've given him some attention tonight, haven't they, as an ex-teammate? They really are testing him out tonight.
I don't think they were happy when he left him. Boy, oh boy. So he's just got to be careful not to retaliate, and he kept his cool there, good on him. 41 to 29, a 2-goal game. But it's an ugly scoreboard from the Dockers' point of view at 3-11. Gee, that was confidence by Young. And Wakeland ran onto it and took the mark at half-back. It's been a good quarter for the Saints. Into Wills. Can Wills hold him up? No. Ziller able to get it away. Burton should take it comfortably. He didn't. The big stretch and forces in front. Burke held his ground courageously, as you'd expect. Kicks to a space. Heatley was hanging on to Jones. Jones back with Heatley. Jones and Heatley still with Jones. Keeps it from going out on the fall. And I think he'll be pretty happy with that result. Got it outside of 50 and forced a boundary throw in.
I think the Dockers will be quite happy with that matchup when the ball actually hits the ground between Jones and Heatley. Jones got a lot more leg speed than Heatley. Really turned him inside out. Heatley overplaying the situation a little bit.
Fletcher after Everitt. Mitchell. Norrish. Harvey puts a tackle on him with Mitchell. And again a ball up. So they were 10 points behind the Saints at quarter time and currently lead by 12. It's been a pretty big turnaround for them in this second quarter. Last goal for the Dockers, 2 minutes into the second term. That was after that big mark by Andrew Wills, and he converted from about 15 metres out. Toya, after Burke went to ground. O'Reilly kicked back into the space. Ziller attacks it well. Ziller's high ball to full forward, wanting a mark there. Heatley got underneath it. Now Thompson, normally a good kick round the body. It's another one. They just can't miss. 2 to Thompson. 2 to Trianides in this quarter, 1 to Winmar, 1 to Beveridge, and they've all been clever goals. 3-11 to 7-5.
What I really like about Thompson, just look at the work here in actually getting front and square. We talk about this all the time, and that is a perfect example of somebody running to the front of a contest. He had all bases covered on that occasion, and then he had the presence of mind to screw it back over, and that was a very clever goal.
Well, only Andrew Thompson's 4th kick, but more importantly, St Kilda's 7th goal, and they lead now by 18 points. It's close to half-time. Robert Harvey, he's had a fair bit of the football, 6 kicks and 11 hand passes. Nicky Winmar, 8 kicks and 2 hand passes. Jones had 7 kicks in the first quarter, that's Aussie, only 1 in this second term so far. Kickett's hand pass, just to anyone in particular. Now it spills out wide, Bond. Well tackled by Burke. Toya brought down by Mitchell. Handball over the top. Norris has a chance. Can he get past? Yes. Handball's back in the area of Jones. Jones to Durkay. Punched away by Peckett. Good disciplined play by the St Kilda player. Winmar. Very skillfully done. Nicky Winmar. Justin Peckett in towards full foot low. He's a big man, isn't he? Oh, geez, hard to displace. And he's taken the mark about 40 metres out. He would be a real chance to get the distance, but what about Nicky Winmar there?
Well, that was brilliant, but the kick then by the Dockers coming out of defence was to a 2-on-1. It really had to hit Durkay. If it didn't hit him, then they were in trouble. And the Saints had the numbers at the ball. And now Stewie Lowe lining up inside 50.
Well, in a fairly low-scoring game, this is going to be very, very difficult for Fremantle. If Stuart Lowe could kick a goal here, his shot has missed off to the left. So a little bit of breathing space for Fremantle. 1 goal, 1 to Stuart Lowe. And a few Saints fans here tonight. There's been plenty of cheers when they've gone forward to kick one of their 7 goals. And Jason Trionides has been one of those players. He's kicked 2. Andrew Thompson has kicked 2. The Fremantle side, they're all singles.
Parker Long got Dodd. It was a good kick because he kicked it well outside 50 and found Dodd. Dodd at half-back. He goes for distance as well, so they get the ball to centre wing, kick at the big fly from the front. Sierakowski at the back, Mitchell with him, Fletcher, and it'll be a bounce.
No.
What about Shane Wakeland, Adrian Barrage?
Bruce, Shane Wakeland has a leg injury. It's not a great night for an ice pack too, let me tell you. Looks like an ankle. David Sierakowski's gone on to replace him on James Clement, which is a mismatch for pace, that's for sure.
Dodd's handball. Fletcher, they need a goal here, the Dockers, late in this first half. Waterhouse can't quite get to it. Hudson with him. Hudson's handball back inside to Darryl Wakeland. Was a tackle high. Play on called. Forced back towards Hudson. Dodd with him. Back into the pocket, Winmar, keep his cool, Nicky, well played, and then delivers beautifully to Young, who's off the tackle, play on call, good decision, Wakeland, Winmar, geez, kept cool, Winmar to Peckett, Peckett delivers beautifully, now Jones could take off here and really sting, 1 bounce, measures the kick, goes to Heatley, gives him a chance at centre half forward, at the back, getting back Bond, Mitchell to try and put the pressure on, does, O'Reilly, still the pressure there, little give okay, backing him up Wills, some good rebound footy, Wills, high ball, kicker's got to sit and wait, Jones in, Toya over the top, and the siren plays, and sounds just as we had some good footy from both ends of the ground, but what a quarter for the Saints. Heatley a bit out of sorts, but the Saints have taken charge here, they kicked 6 goals to 1 in that term, and lead 7-6 to 3-11. 29 to 40. Adrian Robbo.
Bruce, I was just going to make a point that Fremantle kicked 2 goals, 6 down to that left-hand end, the end to which they're kicking in this quarter. St Kilda kicking in the second term to the same end, kicked 6 goals, 4. It was interesting that Adrian said there was no real advantage, but there must be some sort of a momentum to that left-hand end of screen. 8 scoring shots they had, they just haven't been able to kick straight, have they, Fremantle?
29 to 48 at half-time. Third quarter very important here. Everitt I should say, and also Burton out of the centre. Gale a little kick forward. Kickett's hands were fast. Got it to Fletcher. Great tackle though by Burke, who, as Tim said, did a very good job on Fletcher in the second quarter. Winmar 13th possession. So he had 12 to half-time. I said he hadn't had a whole lot of the footy, but what he'd done had been very good. Lappin not quite. Taken by Shane Parker. Parker straightens the body, wobbly kick, difficult to mark for the forwards. Burton gets down, Waterhouse left foot, strong in the front spot there was the Saints, and Sierakowski's got the mark at full back. So held his ground pretty well here to David Sierakowski. Against him Clement, big strong body, Clement unable to get over the top of him. Winmar and Norris, pressure on him, handball back, okay to Dodd, found a bit of space, terrible kick. out of bounds on the full. No polish about some of the Fremantle play tonight.
And a lack of composure though too. He
They're
really
rushing
had time.
themselves, aren't
He
they?
had time then to do a lot more with that footy.
That's a sign of a team that's lacking confidence. We've seen Durkay a couple of times tonight have a bit more time and just panic. Jones, who had a wonderful first term, in the back pocket.
So Aussie Jones to kick the ball out towards the wing. Stuart Lowe not able to control it. So the umpire will throw it in. It's just forward of centre wing in Fremantle's attacking half. Low scoring game, so not such a big margin, only 18 points. Early in this third quarter, Norrish, hand pass, maybe a little high there for Gale, but he's able to gather. Hand pass away, this is Brown. Brown's kick, well, they may have been a bit lucky there, but Callaghan is on the end of it. Now Callaghan to play on and really put the pressure on the St Kilda defence. The kick to the goal square, not marked, knocked through for a rush behind by Max Hudson. Not bad percentage play for the Saints.
Fought over it a bit, didn't they, Clement, and at the back.
Once again, they could have just showed a bit more composure, couldn't they? Young Holland really didn't have to go for the ball like he did on that occasion. He would have been better off just keeping his feet.
Beautiful kick by Young to the middle of the ground. Taken there by Hudson, not able to break through. Attempted clearance there by Mitchell. Kick forward by Burton. Out very, very wide though. Wills can't do much with it. So with 18 points still the margin, Docker's bench, Chisholm, might be Durkay, is it? Toya and Mann. Yep. 50 metres from the Fremantle goal. Boundary throw in. Everitt down to the front. Chance for Holland, well done. Fletcher, and he misses. So it just cannot happen here at all for Fremantle. Kicks out of bounds on the full. Shots at goal missing when they really, really need a goal just to get some momentum going.
That's exactly right, because they actually have got the play at the moment, and you do need to score 6-pointers when the play is going your way. This is exactly what we saw happen in the first quarter, and they're only able to kick behind then.
Now Young told to kick, so he's going to go to the two option. Well done, Matthew Burton at the back of Peter Everitt. Comes to ground. Winmar's got Dodd holding the ball. Good tackle from the front. So it'll come back to Nicky Winmar.
The crowd are booing because they believe that Winmar went too high in the first instance, and they're probably right. If you look at that camera angle.
I reckon he had his jumper.
I thought that he probably took him a little bit too high with the first grab. Just watch this again. Sort of grabbed him by the throat in the first instance.
Winmar at half-back. Having a pretty big night now, Nicky. Kicks to centre wing. Just measured the kick once low. Couldn't quite hold it. Had a fair bit of it. Bond around the body only far as Winmar. Winmar then can deliver and kick to half forward. Lappin the target. Parker did well, Parker, because Lappin worked his body to try and force him to the ground. Parker kept his feet and forced the ball out of play. So the scores here on Friday Night Football, it's 7-6 to 3-13. Tim Elliott closest to us. His first game of AFL footy. You see Shane Wakeland there, third back, and he's injured and may not be able to come back.
Burton in front, tries to get the ball down, but chopped off there by Nathan Burke. Kick across his left shoulder, running with the flight of the ball. Well done, Stuart Lowe. Kept his eyes on it, and a very safe chest mark inside his forward 50. The player on the mark looks as though it may be Matthew Burton, and you can see the umpire. Well, you can now. There's the mark, about 45 metres from goal, so to test Stuart Lowe. Saints kicked one goal to this right-hand end in the first quarter, and the Dockers kicked one in the second quarter. The kick by Lowe has been well marked back there by O'Reilly. Saints lead by 17 points. Dockers in the early part of the third term have only been able to add a couple of behinds. O'Reilly kicks it high, wide on. Top effort there by Lowe. He might have hurt himself. He came down very, very heavily. He's still lying on the ground, Stuart Lowe. So we'll watch that with a lot of interest because he's a key player in the St Kilda lineup. Knocked forward there for the Fremantle side by Holland. And we look at Lowe still. that is a behind by Holland. But have a look at this, what happened to Stuart Lowe. Up, down, bang.
His knee actually buckled underneath him, didn't he? Just watch this again. Just watch his right knee.
Well, he hasn't really moved, and the stretcher is out, so play halted temporarily. And I'm sure everyone are interested in the welfare of Stuart Lowe, a great player in this AFL competition.
They actually seem to be more concerned about his head, but he has got some blood on his forehead, and he really hasn't moved since he hit the ground. But looking at that slow-mo of the incident, it really looked like it was perhaps his knee that was going to be the problem, as we see players from both sides just gathering at the other end of the ground at centre half forward, obviously just making sure that they don't lose concentration after a break in play like this. In fact, we're seeing Lowe's opponent Jones coming from the ground too, as the medical staff there from St Kilda work on Stuart Lowe. They are putting a brace around his neck. That might be just for a precautionary measure. Just watch that. I actually thought it was his knee, but his head...
That's hit his knee.
Yeah, he's down on his knee.
He's belted his head with his knee, hasn't he? As he's come down and split his head open by the look of it. But
there's a lot of blood there on his forehead.
I mean, if you had a choice, you'd much rather have a sore head than a bad knee, wouldn't you?
Well, I don't know what your first impression was, whether or not you thought it was a knee, but...
I thought he might have concussed himself straight off, and then once the replay came up, it looked his knee, didn't it? But right now, obviously when he comes from the ground, Adrian will have a better look at him. He might take another angle here. They put a neck brace on Stuart here. So he's got up high, almost held the mark, bang, hit.
It's the most awkward landing you've seen for a fair while, I would say.
It's almost like a whiplash effect though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
when his head went forward.
It's almost like being in a car accident, having a look at the way
there's a lot of blood there.
His head's gone forward. It's ugly, isn't it, poor fella? So he's done a fair bit of damage here. And
we see all the St Kilda players now congregating at centre half forward as Stuart Lowe leaves the ground, and getting a good reception here too from the Fremantle people.
It's good, isn't it, that they're respecting his situation. He's had a pretty good match without being a star so far, Stu. He's had 9 kicks, 6 marks, ton of handballs, but he's certainly been a presence, hasn't he, as you'd expect he would.
Well, the thing about having him out there on the ground tonight, and maybe he won't take any further part in this game, is that Spida Everitt is actually rucking in tandem with him, so it is an enormous blow to the Saints.
So Lowe coming from the ground.
And Bruce, one door closes, another one opens. It gives this young fella playing his first game. You can see him grimacing there, Stuart Lowe. Obviously conscious, but Tim Elliott playing his first game, he gets thrust into a different situation now.
And Barry, you're down on the boundary line, Adrian.
Bruce, apparently there's 3 things wrong with Stuart Lowe at the moment. He obviously got that cut on his forehead that's bleeding heavily. He's in a bit of a semi-stupor, and he's hyperextended his right knee, so they're going to examine his right knee as well, and hopefully it's not a serious injury.
Okay, Adrian, obviously we want you to keep as close a look on that as you possibly can as the match continues.
It's critical now which side actually starts quickly again after that small break. Both sides congregated at about centre half forward for the Dockers, obviously reminding each other of the fact that they still had to play a game of football and to keep their minds on the job. But often a break like that can see one side taking the initiative.
3-14 to 7-6 the scoreline. So a tight match, goals hard to get. Lowe was the goal scorer in the first quarter. The umpires tonight, David Howlett, Mark Nash and David Ackland. And the bounce there at centre wing. Brown tries to get a kick away, Everitt onto him, Jones, Widmar off the ground, forcing forward. I think the players realise too, Tim, that this is a critical moment. Bond's kick is a terrible one, Hudson underneath it, Norris caught up, tries to get the handball away, only as far as Mitchell, his old teammate, back to Peckett. Peckett's floating kick, not good, Carroll's got the mark at centre wing, gives it off, sloppy handball, McGovern gets back, he's got a bit of time and he can kick the ball to Gale. It's got to be a good kick though, Lappin getting back, Gale gets a second chance. Handball to Dot. They've got to be clean here. The Dockers are going to mess this up. Trianides, Winmar beautifully. Lappin inside again. Trianides. Well, he got very cute and forced it wide to Heatley. Beveridge to try and put a Shepherd on. Heatley in the pocket. Left foot bouncing ball. Interesting. Elliott getting there. So behind. Well, the Dockers were lucky because their play in the middle of the ground was untidy.
It was a critical turnover then, but what a strange kick there by Trianides. He's actually running towards the goal. He was forced onto his right foot, obviously didn't think that he had enough power in his right leg to kick a goal, and then just tried to chip the ball out in quite a cute fashion.
Well, we just watched Winmar. He's been instrumental. He's had 16 possessions, and he featured in that passage of play that got the ball forward for that behind kick by St Kilda. Fletcher has the football. 17 points is St Kilda's lead. Fletcher's kick not bad, out in front of Holland, but just the bounce was a bit awkward for that player. Harvey, then Burke, and it's kicked forward in the finish by Thompson. It spills to the back of the pack. Chance here for Chisholm. Every Fremantle Dockers supporter would have their heart in their mouth right now. Scotty Chisholm runs away from fullback and gives it up straight to Thompson.
Those kicks have to hit their target when you're coming out of defence like that, kicking to half-back.
Or go long. Thompson with the football. Andrew Thompson has kicked 2 goals for St Kilda. The ball spills in the front of the pack. Beveridge grasped the ball but couldn't quite control it. O'Reilly strong at full-back. Hand pass away to Chisholm once again. He's got a chance. This time he takes the option of going long. It goes out very, very wide. There for the Dockers is Waterhouse. Thompson over the top. Waterhouse can't control it, and the umpire will call for a bounce with St Kilda leading 49-32, and there are 13 minutes left in the third quarter.
Well, Robbo, they just don't go long with their kicks. The Dockers, in general kicks in the competition, they're last overall. They're 14th with long kicks and they're 6th with short kicks, and that just tells you how often they do go short when they get the ball.
Harvey's got hold of it to Thompson, running on to Burke. Burke, beautiful looking kick off the boot. Good play by O'Reilly to put the pressure on Heatley. Pressure then, the Dockers might have been a bit lucky coming out. Beveridge can really hurt them here. There's a poor kick off the side of his boot. It's straightened up the body. Bond running hard, some shepherding there by Parker. Bond away, so the Dockers coming away from defence. Bond getting into trouble. Parker, untidy play again. They were lucky not to be caught holding the footy. Legging there, and a free kick against Elliott to Bond.
That'll be 50. I thought a leg penalty like that was actually
that passage of play.
A 50-metre penalty as well.
If you're the coach, I wish we could see Jared Newsham now. I'm sure he'd have his hands full of hair.
Wills gets it and kicks to Burton. That's better.
Burton's got the footy. Big Spida going goalwards. Short kick. That's not really all that good either. Gathered here by Callaghan, and he's kicked the goal. Well, there were some frustrating signs for the Dockers, and there is Jared Newsham, but Craig Callaghan was the goal kicker, and to say that was a badly needed goal, well, we shall leave it at that.
But even this kick here by Burton's a bad one. It goes over the top of his foot. It really favoured Sierakowski, and it was a good kick though from half back. That was a damaging kick. It was a long kick to space to Burton.
So Callaghan, the goal kicker, gives Fremantle a bit of a sniff. They trail by 11 points, pressure back on the Saints. Winmar from Burke, Everitt, big Spida, short kick to half forward. Gathered there by Healy, pressure applied by Carroll, and the umpire will bounce that centre half forward for the Saints.
Done a good job of holding Aussie Jones, haven't they, since quarter time? Had a big first term, but not so much since. So you'd think the critical time of the match is right now. Winmar tries to run Chisholm down. Well, Chisholm a second bounce. Holland comes in with a shepherd. Chisholm goes to half forward. Callaghan, good effort at the back of Zilla. The ball to be won. Is it a free kick to kick it? It is at half forward. So the Dockers now lifting all around the ground. Pickett putting the pressure on Kickett. And the kicker who's played for 5 AFL clubs, including the Saints, has a chance to kick a goal.
Actually, Chisholm, after running the ball down into the forward line, has been taken from the ground. So obviously the message went out before he grabbed hold of the ball. But two positive bits of play by the Dockers in the last couple of minutes. A long kick on both occasions.
Chisholm back on too, by the way, Tim. Has to convert here, kick it, and he's missed. That's, well,
Sloppy.
yeah, I was going to say, it's pretty easy sitting up here, but you've got to do better than that. 25 metres out.
You wonder sometimes, you ask yourself the question, are you being too critical? But we are playing 1998 AFL football. These boys are being well looked after, and some of the skills tonight have been very, very average.
Well, particularly with the contrast, Robbo, because the Saints just did not miss in the second quarter when they went forward. Clever play, but a good cut-off by Waterhouse. But Young burst through for the Saints. Young kicks to half forward. Fly by Elliott in the front spot. Beveridge, smother was terrific though at the back. Back to Everitt. Everitt goes for a goal on his 100th, and he's going to kick it. It's a goal, I reckon, and the Saints get the important one. Well, Dale kick it at the other end. It must break your heart. 4:15 to 8-7.
No doubt about that. It breaks the coach's heart, breaks the supporters' heart to see that happen, and then the opposition takes the ball forward and they do finish off. And that was magnificent play then by Matthew Young too, from half back, just to rush the ball forward under extreme pressure.
Just centimetres in that kick from Peter Everitt. The goal umpire signalling that it had crossed the line. Strong play by Zilla across half back to chop the Dockers forward, thrust off and kicked over by Joey McLaren for a boundary throw-in. I'll tell you what, you wouldn't mind having another look at that, Tim. There was a centimetre in that kick from Peter Everitt going over the goal line.
Yes.
What did you think? It was a goal?
No, I thought from here, but our vantage point isn't that terrific, Robbo, as you well know.
Well, it's back at half-back, left half-back for St Kilda. The ball back towards the middle of the ground now. Overrun there by Parker. Norwich to gather. Hand pass. Nearly taken by Ozzie Jones. Absolute airy there by Robert Harvey. Tackled by Norwich. Kick forward in the finish there by McGovern. Will land at half-forward. No, it won't. It'll be well marked by Brown. That was a strong effort.
And it just shows you sometimes the advantage of kicking the ball long.
Now they've played on, and there's been a mark taken in the square by Burton, so he should kick a goal from here.
Yeah, smart play here by Brown. Perhaps not the percentage thing to do to screw one back around like that. But Burton, who's run hard all night all over the ground, he's tried to get Spida Everitt to chase him. A big Spida Everitt on that occasion back at centre half back.
Well, it's a game. It certainly is a very good game now. So a close contest, even though there have been quite a few skill errors, but it is a 10-point game. St Kilda leading with 9 minutes left in the third term.
Well, Matthew Burton's been a very good player. In fact, I've been impressed with his rough work at the centre bounces too, because Spida Everitt is particularly good in that area of his ground, but Spida Burton's been getting his hand to the ball. He's been giving his midfielders first look at the ball, and then he's used his athleticism.
5:15, 8-7, plenty of time in the third quarter. Repeating the Stuart load taken from the ground about 10 minutes ago with what looked to be multiple injuries, neck problems, cut his forehead and might have hurt his knee as well. Burton has been good to kick it. Handball was good. Holland again gets the ball forward to full forward. Sirakoski strong against Clement. Just shoved him out the road and then delivers to Peckett. This game, the intensity's lifted. And as Robbo said a moment ago, we've got a game of footy. It's a very good contest. It hasn't been pretty, but it's important. A really big match for both clubs here. The Saints have set themselves up in the top four. The Dockers, a win for them as Elliott takes a good grab. This is a kid that we talked about getting an opportunity. The Dockers, a win, will put them back within some sort of touch of the top eight. Jones got it in short from Hudson.
This is the bloke they've got to get into play to St Kilda if they're going to win this game. 10 points is not a big enough lead at this stage of the game. They've got to have their better players, such as Jones, winning plenty of the football.
Kicks to half forward. Chisholm couldn't quite against Winmar. McGovern will get a free kick. Advantage given to Chisholm. Kick inside. Durkay had to take it. And he stretched and took it well. Now he's got a man loose here. I think it's Jones out wide. Is it Gale? It's Gale. He can go all the way. Measures it. 55 out. Goes long and kicks it. That's a beauty. That's what they wanted. That lifts them. Now we're back to a kick in it.
Well, that's the most positive bit of play we have seen from the Dockers tonight. Jared Neesham not getting too excited, not getting overwrought. That was a fingertipper there by Durkay. The ball almost travelled over the top of him. Gale ran down into the space and then he finished. And that kick really excited my fellow commentator Bruce McAvaney. In a long time since I've seen him rise like that.
Tim, you reckon that's the best passage of play you've seen tonight? I reckon it's the best passage of play I've seen from them for about 4 weeks. It was positive, wasn't it? Straight down the ground. Parker, now they just might lift every one of them. There's got to be a bit of sparkle there now. Parker goes straight towards centre-half forward. No crummers, kicked off the ground by Holland. Puts St Kilda's defence under pressure. Hodgson, Mitchell tackled. Ball out towards Jones. Aussie Jones leaves it for Nathan Burke. Sirakowski, he's gone. Still under pressure, the Saints defence. Nathan Burke scrambles a kick out, but they're outnumbered. Wills has got the crumbs. Can't get the hand pass away. Back towards Elliott. He's got Fletcher, but Fletcher able to hand pass the ball away. Bond to swoop on it. Tackled by McLaren. Ball spills. There's some desperate players out there now. Here's a chance for McGovern. He's confronted by McLaren. He's done pretty well, Joey McLaren. A couple of physical contests there. Winmar on Bond, and it'll be thrown in on centre wing.
That was just a fantastic passage of desperate football. The ball went from one side of the ground straight across the other side of the ground. The ball hasn't moved, hasn't gone either way really, and they're just a succession of tackles.
The ball's hot. Peckett receiving from Mitchell. Peckett's kick out wide. Healy not able to take the mark, and it certainly will be last man standing here at the WACA tonight. Friday night football on 7. St Kilda by 4 points. We've got 6.5 minutes left.
Test of wheels, isn't it, Tim, right now? I mean, both sides have said, OK, we've turned up the meter, we're going to have a red-hot go. Let's see if you can match us. And Lowe now not there and not able to come back becomes pretty important, doesn't it?
Well, they don't have that big fella at centre-half forward to shoot the ball to, and that really is going to trouble them, I believe, in this the second part of this third term and also the last quarter.
Callaghan, so the Saints, as they were against the Eagles 3 weeks ago in round 6, up against it. We saw how good they were late there. The AFL official website, afl.com.au. Sandy Roberts does a weekend roundup every Monday morning on that. The ladder will be updated tonight immediately after this match. So tune into that website. Big kick by Bond towards half forward. Fletcher and Burke has been a very, very interesting duel. Not high possessions, but important. Good handball by Fletcher to Gale, who kicked a beautiful running goal a moment ago. Clement caught. Can't get rid of it. The Saints were on to him. Callaghan, good kick. Wobbling, they're in front. The Dockers are at the front. There's something about that end, Romo. There's a magnet down there and it just draws the footing through it.
Well, they've now kicked 4 goals so far in this third term, and at the other end the Saints have managed 1 goal.
Once again it was Gale running down that far wing who shot the ball forward, and that was a crumbing goal, and sometimes they're not pretty, but that was effective.
So after trailing at half-time by 19 points, the Dockers have hit the front with 5.5 minutes left of the third term. And they go forward again. No, they won't. Gathered by Robert Harvey. Kicks back towards a vacant centre-half forward area. The bounce all important. Back there is Carroll. Confronted by Trionides. Gathered by Chisholm. Very ordinary kick. They may get a goal here, the Saints. Healy. Snapshot by Healy's a goal. And Scotty Chisholm. Don't look at this.
Don't look at that fellow in the lime green outfit if he comes towards you either, because that was a bit unfortunate there by Scotty Chisholm. Grabbed the ball, took off, and then just coughed it up with a poor kick And on so many occasions we've seen that, haven't we, with the Dockers tonight, whether they've been in their forward line, whether it's been in the midfield, or whether it's been across half-back. Just errors like that, critical turnovers.
Well, Daniel Healy has had trouble getting into the game, but an important first goal for that player. Look at Harvey. He just keeps working, doesn't he? Robert Harvey. He's kicked towards full forward. Awkward bouncing ball. Knocked away by O'Reilly. Close to the line, McLaren goes after it. And the boundary line looms up. It will be thrown in. St Kilda have the lead once again. Only by 4 points. A 19-point lead at half-time. So the Dockers have hit back pretty hard, McLaren and Wills. And what's happening on the boundary line, Barra?
Robbo, it sounds like good news. Stuart Lowe is conscious. He's got a lacerated scalp. It seems like he's kneed himself in the head, which is an amazing thing. But his knee is okay, he said. His knee is okay.
That's great news, Barra. Thanks for that. Norwich to O'Reilly in trouble. Bad option. Healy with a chance. He held on to him for a long time, Norwich. Quick kick by O'Reilly. It was a good one too. And found Gale, who's had 2 or 3 important possessions. Measures the kick to Burt. Playing a wonderful game. Gets his kick in time. Not a bad one to Brown at full forward. Waiting back Clement. Now kick it. Now kick it. No. Misses again. Well, it wasn't as easy as the last one, but it was very kickable. It's 7-16. Well, they kicked 6-18 at Cardinia Park last week, the Dockers. 7-16 tonight to 9-7. So a thriller here. 3 points in it. Been an outstanding quarter. A quarter full of incidents. Elliott held on to free kick against Callaghan. Advantage given. Winmar to Jones. Jones with a bounce. Gee, runs too far. Absolutely. Ran much too far. And a correct decision.
He does look out of sorts, Aussie Jones. Had 7 kicks in the first quarter. He looked like he was off to a great game. He's only had 4 kicks since then, and that's not the confident Aussie Jones that we saw last year.
No, I concur wholeheartedly with that one. There he is in picture, looking to maybe man up on someone. McGovern has the football for Fremantle. Down to 3.5 minutes left in the term. Dockers surging forward. The kick will land at the forward 50, gathered by Burke. Little kick, not bad. Harvey, he's just knocked up getting it, Robert Harvey. This is possession number 24. McLaren does well. Kicks towards full forward. Getting back is Chisholm. Where are the hearts of the Dockers fans? Scotty, go. Look out. Hand pass to centre half back. McGovern. That was a little bit better, a lot better than his previous attempt where he missed it altogether with his left foot. Out wide, Wills is marked. 61 plays 58. Wills in towards the middle of the ground. And Gale again. And he doesn't mess around. He thumps it. And Callaghan on the end of it. Little kick by Callaghan. Not too bad, but not able to really gather the ball all that cleanly, James Clement. And the boundary umpire will throw it in. It's only about 35 to 40 metres around from the Dockers' goal. They trail by 3 points, but they've certainly made a game of it. And St Kilda, well, this has to be won now. They looked as though they were fairly comfortable at half-time. It was still a low-scoring game. There's a free kick. Burt looking for 50 metres. A tripping. Now, is that 50 metres deliberate trip?
Well, I have been under the impression that it is. If it's not a reportable offence anymore, but if you do trip by the hand, it's a free kick and a 50-metre penalty.
Well, he obviously
we've
knew
seen
that.
that twice tonight, and umpires haven't paid it, so maybe there has been a change in that area.
Well, his mind suggested that. He appealed for it as soon as he went to ground, but he's going to kick now from about 40 metres, maybe a little further. Oh, good kick, the big man. It's a big goal to Fremantle. Very, very close to three-quarter time. Matthew Burton kicks his second goal, and the Dockers lead once again by 3 points.
Well, we said when Stewie Lowe went off that one of the problems that St Kilda will have tonight is that Peter Everitt, they've had to rest him at different times during this game. They've had to send him up forward. When they do, Spida Everitt just takes control, and he has been truly inspirational in this third term.
(8:16 to 9-7), so the Dockers back in front. This has been the big quarter, hasn't it, of the match so far. Kick around the body by Holland. Good take by Hodgson. 5-5 to 2-1 in this term. Well, I was going to say it was a bit cheeky, but Young was good enough and strides away to Everitt. Well done at the back though. Belting it away was Gale. Going forward again, Young to fall forward. Elliott there with O'Reilly. Terrific contest. Ball to be won. Mitchell looks for a free kick, didn't get it. Good hands by Beckett. Harvey holding it. No free kick. Kick it through his legs almost at the moment. Fantastic contest everywhere here. They're throwing themselves in, both teams, and there'll be a bounce.
It's hard to tell with Robert Harvey. We see there Jared Newsham with his head in his hands. He can't believe that wasn't a free kick, but Robert Harvey, he's just looked like he had concrete in his legs or in his shoes in the last 5 minutes of football. He really just hasn't had any sparkle at all.
Ziller out of the air. Fair comment. Beveridge. Jones clever. That's good. Now Thompson would love to have gone on there because he's a very good goal kicker on the run. He is going to kick from about 48, 49 metres, very deep into the third quarter. The Dockers lead by under a goal. They've come back strongly. Thompson's kicked 2, kicks from the 50. He's hooked it just a bit, but it's a great kick. It's a goal. Wonderful kick. And Thompson has kicked 3, and the Saints get a very, very important late goal to lead 10-7 to 8-16.
Well, we saw Stan Alves storm past us about 2 minutes ago, and he looked a lot happier there on the bench than what he did when he went past here. There was smoke coming off his person, and Andrew Thompson doesn't have a lot of the footy. He's only had 10 possessions tonight, but it's the bustling, tough, hard work that he does in close and the finishing tonight that's made him such a good player.
The tempering influence is just left to go down to the coach's bench as well. Normie Goss and Peter Russo and company. And the Dockers won that centre bounce, but Justin Peckett, an important market centre half-back. Peckett, 10 kicks, 11 kicks in one hand. Out wide, Harvey continues to work all over the ground. There's nowhere in particular that he doesn't work. Kick by Ziller to half-forward, and mark taken by McGovern. In towards centre-half back proper, and it's Burton. Seconds left, 67 plays, 64 St Kilda lead. A high ball to half-forward. Important that they keep possession here, the Saints, and they will. Peckett with the football underneath there somewhere. So the siren will sound. There it is. Jared Newsham. Well, he's got something to fight for. He always did have, but at half-time they trailed by 19 points. At three-quarter time, it is just a 3-point advantage to St Kilda, and their leading goal kicker is Andrew Thompson with 3. Jason Trionides 2 in the second term. Matthew Burton and Craig Callaghan have kicked 2 each for the Dockers.
Well, once again, they had their chance.
So 8-16 to 10-7. Terrific last quarter coming up here on Friday Night Football. Burke out of the centre and pumps it as hard as he can to fall forward. Chisholm, good mark. He is a bit like Mae West, this fellow, isn't he? When he's good, he's really good, but oh boy. In the back pocket to half back, almost to centre wing. Waterhouse, but there's a positive sign too. Chisholm taking a mark, and Waterhouse. The Saints have got a lot of grit. We saw how good they are under the hammer 3 weeks ago at Subi, and they will take that with them into this last quarter. Kicking in danger, we don't see it too often. Toya to get the free kick.
Well, Jared Newsham spent a lot of time with him at three-quarter time, obviously revving him up a bit and looking for a big quarter from Toya in the last quarter.
Toya's kick almost to 50. Waterhouse, big fly from the back, couldn't get hold of it. Gale was an important player in the third quarter. Kick it, missed a couple of easy goals. Brown's kick inside 50. Everitt lumbers after it. Bouncing ball. Elliott's back there too, so a couple of tall players trying to get down there, holding the footy. Big call. Free kick to Callaghan against young Tim Elliott. He's just awkward over the footy here, wasn't he? We didn't get a good view of what happened there. I'm not sure if the umpire did, but Callaghan, who kicked 2 third-quarter goals to put the Dockers in front, and he has missed. Well, I'll tell you what, you could get out the video tonight and you could show Waterhouse, you could show Kickett, you could show Callaghan, and you could show a few more. The Dockers kicked 6-18 at Cardinia Park last week. They've managed 8-17 to 9. It's 8-17 to 10-7.
Well, that really was an ordinary kick, and to criticise Craig Callaghan is probably unfair because he's usually quite reliable. The ball in the centre of the ground. Carroll as well tackled by Winmar, and the ball umpire will call for a bounce. I thought the young bloke Elliott was very, very close to being crucified for that holding the ball decision, but anyway, the umpire's made it. Fortunately for him, Callaghan missed. Everitt in the middle of the ground, gets his right hand to it. Harvey tries to just force it forward. Carroll tackled by Burke. The umpire to bounce once again. Peter Mann still warming the bench. Jones, Durkay. And Everitt to try and get close. Got a height advantage, but Burton got his hand to it. Robert Harvey, quick kick to half forward, and that's a free kick. It looks as though it might go to, is it young Elliott? Penalised at centre half back, gets the free kick at centre half forward. Nice kick too, to the goal square. Might cover everyone, it bounces through for a behind. Tim Elliott, his first score in AFL football, a behind. St Kilda lead by 3 points. Wills, the fourth member of the interchange bench at the moment for Fremantle, and now the umpire's found an infringement. It may be against Nathan Burke to Fletcher, so the ball coming all the way nearly to the middle of the ground. Fletcher out wide to Norwich. They've got a chance here, they can go forward. Burton has got metres on Everitt, lumbers towards goal, kicks it too full forward. Now the Saints under pressure, kicked away by Callaghan again, hit the post, and he just thumps his fist into his thigh. He's a frustrated young fella at the moment, Craig Callaghan. 2 goals, 3 against his name.
Gee, Spida Burton's been one of their best ball carriers tonight, hasn't he? He's made space when they've gone forward, the Freo Dockers. They've actually looked for him, and he really has run Spida Everitt ragged.
Winmar gets it from Peckett. Wickenmar's kick towards Trianides. Falling over was Chisholm. Well done Waterhouse, but a free kick I think coming to Trianides. Kicked a couple of goals in that second quarter when the Saints took charge of this match and got to a 3 and a bit goal. Now here's Stuart Lowe. That's great news for footy fans around Australia that Stuart Lowe's able to come back onto the interchange. Dodd's got the footy. Handballs to Toya. Runs back into trouble. Parker. Bad play Dockers. Thompson forced off it by Toya. Back to Mitchell. Mitchell to Beveridge. Beveridge back to Mitchell. Mitchell to Trianides. Trianides measures a kick, not bad. Healy with a bit of a chance. O'Reilly's got a hold at the end up here. Back to Dodd. Dodd can't get the footy out to a teammate. Everett's handball good to Harvey. Harvey's kick for goal misses. It's a behind. Now there's a bit of a blue here between Toya and Everitt. Talking about David and Goliath. Just wondering, Jim, in close, those uniforms look pretty similar. I mean, with the white and the white of the Saints and the white of the Dockers. And we've seen a lot of problems with the players in close trying to get the ball to their teammate. I don't think it's all been because of some good tackling.
Fair point.
Fletcher forced off it, taken by Burke to Harvey.
Quickly to Harvey. Harvey into the pocket. Well done, Robert Harvey. He spotted Trianides. Trianides looking maybe to play on. No one really safe. Now he can go short. And good running by Elliott. Well done by the youngster. He's going to be well and truly within range. But the angle, as we watch Stuart Lowe being spoken to by the club doctor, I think there's some good signs there for Stuart Lowe that he's got a whack in the head, he's conscious, and hopefully no damage to any of his the knee or the ankle. But we're watching Tim Elliott to try and convert. Shot across goal through for his second behind. So 70 plays 66, only 4 points the margin, plenty of time left in this game at the WACA.
There'd be some irony, wouldn't there? Sorry, Tim, there'd be some irony if bad kicking cost the Saints in the last quarter.
I mean, football often works like that, doesn't it? Often levels itself out.
McGovern short to Norris, because we've seen Elliott and Harvey miss. I mean, they're gettable goals. Norris's kick to centre wing. Fletcher's big fly for the back. Chisholm tried to carry it forward, then got a little kick to it, not bad. Winmar, well done by Dodd, brought him down, that was important. Dodd's away, delivers to half forward. Brown, there's a terrific effort at the back there by Darryl Wakelin, who we've seen very little of, and a boundary throw in. What about Andrew Wills? Why is he on the interchange, Adrian?
Actually, Bruce, he's just about to come on now for Luke Toy. Had a back-related hamstring problem. Justin Peckett has gone down in back play. He's got a sore hip and he's going to come off. And Lowy, they're trying to talk Lowy into going back on, I think. They're pretty keen to get him back on the ground. So it's all happening.
So they're trying to talk Lowe back on, are they?
I think they're asking him whether he wants to. Peckett's coming through the interchange now in a lot of pain.
So Callahan, so some interesting things there on the interchange. Wills is back. Hamstring back problem for Wills, but there's the interchange, and Peckett's in a bit of trouble there. So the Saints with Shane Maitland out of business, we believe, so he hasn't been back on since the early stages. Callahan about 55 from goal. Interesting kick to the pocket, not a good one. That's very, very low percentage. And Harvey for his 29th possession. There's Peckett, who could hardly make it to the line as he's taking himself off the ground. So Harvey in the back pocket. Don't reckon there'll be many goals in this last quarter, Tim. Everyone's going to count. Lappin's handball over the top. Gale to try and cut it off. Little handball to himself.
Winmar the tackler. Chisholm dispossessed. In goes Beveridge. Lappin again. Gathered by Fletcher. Handball over the top. This may open it up. No. Dodd. Dispossessed by Everitt. Well done, Spida. The big Spida! Go! Oh, he tried to bounce. It didn't come off, but he crashes through the tackle. It then goes bang. And it's play of the night by Peter Everitt. Magnificent goal. Sensational footy by probably the leader on the ground, you'd have to say, him and Robert Harvey now, and they're both in picture right at the moment.
Well, he's a little man trapped inside a big man's body. Look at that. He turned the ball over, he kicked the ball off the ground, went for the bounce, should have been tackled, was able to break the tackle, and then kicked the ball from just inside 50, and that is the play of the night.
Sensational effort by Everitt. Now he's going to go for the bounce in the centre. You reckon he'd be a bit puffed, wouldn't you? Burton over the top, so the Saints get a little break here. Important. Dodd to half forward. Harvey couldn't quite. The ball bounced over the top. Fletcher wide to Gale. He didn't take Winmar on. That was interesting because he's pretty quick, Gale, and Winmar was able to make him stop and prop Wills out of play. Peckett in a real trouble here. Tim and Everett's also blowing pretty hard, isn't he?
Peckett,
yeah,
he
hurting
got
himself.
A knee in his buttock, I would say.
Kick out of the air. Fletcher claiming the mark. Dodd, wobbly old kick to full forward. Clement with him, Sirakovsky. Sirakovsky back to Holland. Holland can't break the tackle. Sirakovsky on him. Free kick to Holland in the back. Sirakovsky won't like it. And Holland's going to have a free kick from full forward. Watch this one.
Don't mind that young fella.
You like Holland there?
Yes, I do.
Robbo?
I like his attitude. He has a bit of a dip at it. Young fella too. Only 18, isn't he?
Yep, youngest player in the Dockers lineup on their list. So 10 kicks, second goal he's going for. Talk about pressure. They've missed a few, haven't they? It's Harvey and Callahan and Zilla. Well, you'd fancy Holland from what we've seen tonight to dob this. 35 metres out. Directly in front, stabs at it, and has missed. Well, he should have kicked through it. He tried to guide it.
He didn't look confident though, did he, as he approached the goal? He just very stilted in his approach.
8-19 to 11-10.
Jones out in the area of Healy. Handball over the top to Norrish. Norrish is kicked towards full forward. Matthew Young nearly took the mark, taken by Wakelin, tackled by Clement, and still there, Waterhouse, snapshot for goal, he's got it. 2 goals to Clive Waterhouse, and importantly, it brings the margin back to only 3 points in favour of the Saints.
Well, they had to work hard for this goal once again. They had the set shot a moment ago through Holland. He wasn't able to get it. Good pressure here by the forwards on the defenders, and just Waterhouse smart on that occasion, getting the ball onto his left foot. Good snapshot.
Well, who do we go for? I think the Saints might hang on, but here go the Dockers once again. Oh, wouldn't he love to put a nail in here? Andrew Wills, and tried the hand pass, well intercepted by Lappin. Burke and Lappin. Beveridge away from the wing to half forward. Good mark taken by Andrew Thompson in front of Chris Bond. So some respect being shown there for Thompson. His man at the moment, Bond. The kick towards full forward. Not clear for a boundary throw in. Adrian Barrage down on the boundary line.
Robbo, it's all happening. Justin Peckett has left the ground into the rooms with that back or buttock injury, can't walk properly, and Stuart Lowe is getting re-strapped. His ankles are being re-strapped. I think they might bring him back on.
Gee, what a big play we saw in replay there with Wills and Lappin cutting it off. Beveridge goes for goal, round the body, kicks it out of bounds on the fall.
That's why I like to see players actually run at that player with the ball rather than peeling off and staying with their own opponent. You've got to run at the person coming like that. You've got to choose the right moment, but you've got to actually make a decision.
Carroll's kick not good. Everitt, such an important player. Fletcher trying to break through. Wheels on hands and knees. Handball is important. Got it out to Dodd. Dodd running away at half-back. Kicks the ball to the space at centre wing. Kick it and Lappin. Lappin who made the big play a moment ago. Kick it, can't fall over. Lappin's gone. Should have put the tackle on him. Put a bump on him instead. Still at centre wing. Young over the top. It'll be a bounce. Oh, into the seat stuff, isn't it? As Lowe is getting himself organised. He's being strapped up. Well, somebody had said there was a chance of Lowe coming back on the ground half an hour ago. You would have said they were absolutely stark raving mad. But he might come back. Wheels trying to get through. Dodd's handball. Cut off. Kick it. Kick it for goal. Kick it for goal. He's got it. He has put it back in front. After all those misses, he kicks the goal. 79 to 76.
This could be the making of Fremantle if they can win this game, because they're playing, I think, very much a Victorian-style football, if I can say that. They're just close in and under, and if they can win this match against a dog at St.Kilda, I think it might be the makings of it.
Good ruck work there by Matthew Burton again, just over the top with his left hand.
So back at the centre bounce, Fremantle lead by 3 points, 10-19, 11-10. The acid test now for St Kilda. They've had the answers so far. Young Elliott jumps early. Burton forces it forward. Knocked forward by Kickett. Well done by Burke for the St Kilda side. To half forward. Punched away by Healy. Ball spills for Norwich. Well done by Aussie Jones. The interception was important. Back onto his right boot. He kicks long, but very wide out on the full. Free kick to Fremantle. It'll be taken by McGovern. He's between back pocket and left half back. 10 minutes left in the game. Excited fans in the background. High kick by McGovern. Lands close to the wing. Taken by Trionides to Harvey. Still very, very much a hard worker. The kick to Everitt. Little push out. Not seen, maybe not even thought of by the umpire. A rush behind to St Kilda.
Peter Everitt having plenty to say there. And in fact, he's given away another 50-metre penalty. The ball will be taken just the defensive side of the 50-metre square by the Dockers. And Peter Everitt, as Robbo called, was pushed in that contest. And then obviously he had plenty to say to the umpire.
Well, it is 2 points the margin in favour of Fremantle. Away goes my man. Can he kick a goal? Second bounce by Holland. And go, boy, go! He's got it! Well done, the youngster. Well, that'll set him alight at the WACA. Fremantle lead by 9 points.
And that was undisciplined play there by Everitt to give that 50-metre penalty away. He's actually looking quite tired, the big fella, but there seems to be plenty of run in the Dockers' legs.
First time they got more than a kick in front, the Dockers, in this second half. Pretty important here. Holland getting his second goal. Dodd to Fletcher. The Dockers are on top. Fletcher to full forward. Sirakoski and Clement. Good contest. No mark paid. Sirakoski strolls away. Takes a bounce. Takes his time down the ground. Silly play, Clement. Very, very foolish football. Thompson's away. And Thompson from centre wing. Kicks the ball to 50. Chisholm at the back. O'Reilly. Steady. Very good handball. Gets it to Carroll. Carroll short. Finds his target in Fletcher. A terrific game. Hope you're enjoying it as we are here wherever you're watching it on the 7 Network around Australia. Fletcher at centre wing. Stakes are high here as they seem to be in so many AFL games week in and week out. Plenty of time to go, as you see. Kick the half forward. The Saints would not want the Dockers to get the next one though. Would make it hard for them. Winmar to Harvey. Harvey still going strong. Kicks the ball. Oh, Chisholm. That's a great mark to O'Reilly. O'Reilly to Turco. Now this will be interesting. Will he take them on here? He may. Stops. Props. Cute little kick to Clement's got him. Well marked by Clement. Made it. Now it's a good kick, Clement. This is not beyond him. He is a very good kick for goal. He's in the pocket. He wants to give it off though. He's not confident. I reckon he should have a shot. The goal square is vacant. He's still not looking to kick for goal.
Go the big check side.
He's getting plenty of advice from the Dockers crowd just behind him there. They're saying have a shot for goal. And he really should. He should decide very quickly, okay, I'm having a shot for goal, and line up deliberately.
You wouldn't bet, I mean, the odds are against him, but you wouldn't say it's completely out of this. Kicks it across. And does it force through? No, it's going to be out on the full. Well, Everitt must have touched the ball over the line. 85 to 77. Really big finish coming up here. Remember, the Saints were well down on West Coast 3 weeks ago at Subi and got out of that one.
Yes, Bruce, there's still plenty of time left. Not quite 8 minutes. The ball very deep in Fremantle's forward area. You can see the behind post there, Peter Everitt. And Trianides try to provide something. The crowd just zooling Peter Everitt on to get rid of the ball. Burton. Now Nathan Burke, he's got to provide the tackle on Bond. He affects the close in play there, Nathan Burke. Can't control the footy. 7.5 minutes left. 8 points is the margin in favour of Fremantle. Bounce at right half back for the Saints. Burton takes it out of the air and smothered off to boot. And we have a look now at Stuart Lowe. Gee, it'd be a Herculean effort, wouldn't it, if he could come back and have some impact. Even to get on the ground would be enormous, but to have any impact, you would think it would be terrific for him. Dodd kicks across his body. Good mark by Brown. Plays on quickly. In front of goals. Holland. Has the mark been paid? It has. So Holland, 18 years of age, just a handful of games. Second game, Bruce, is it? He can kick his third goal. He could nearly win the game for the Fremantle Dockers.
Brown likes to give off too. Remember the one to Burton in the third quarter where he was in a goal-kicking position.
8 points. Holland maybe to make it 14. Disappointing result. 2 goals, 3 to Brodie Holland. A little casual.
That would have almost shut the door, wouldn't it?
Just about.
The momentum's with the Dockers. The Saints have relied on an inspired piece of play by Peter Everitt to kick their only goal in this final term, so they haven't looked that positive when they've gone forward. They've really struggled, and I just get the feeling that a lot of their midfield players are starting to tire.
Burton, big job at the back. Thompson has been pretty good. Dodd's had a big second half. Waterhouse to Dodd, to Norris. Norris 48 metres out, gives it everything he's got. It's a chance. It's just missed. It's a behind. I think wherever you're watching, you probably feel as we do here. One more goal to the Dockers would make it extremely difficult. It's hard enough as it is for the Saints. One more and they've got to find 3. And that's going to be tough. Young's kick. So this is a big play for the Saints. Big fly by Everitt. Fletcher to McGovern. McGovern's kick is a good one. To Holland, he's got it. The kid was good enough. Now, he wanted to play on, I think.
He'll get a penalty.
Young holding set shot. He might have injured himself too. Is he off yet? He's got it in his half off. Anyway, I'm not sure if he's coming back to take the kick, Holland.
He's getting a little bit of advice.
Well, he's missed 2 really easy shots, hasn't he, in the last quarter from set shots. Absolute sitters. And this one's a tight angle. Distance, no worries. Tim, he doesn't kick through it from the set shot, does he? He tries to just steer it.
No, he gets a little bit nervous, I think, when he has the set shot. The goal that he did kick in this final term was on the run.
Yep.
A lot of players are more comfortable when they're on the run.
He's had a good match, hasn't he? 13 kicks.
So he's going to be a real player. This kid averaged 25 possessions last year playing for the Tassie Mariners.
Hollands kicks a good one. He's got it. So Holland with 2 last quarter goals, the unlikely hero of this match, and it's 12-21 to 11-11. This is about where the Saints were against West Coast 3 weeks ago. But that was a very much different game. It was a high-scoring match, and goals have been pretty hard to get here tonight.
Look, I can't see the Saints coming back from here. They're just not getting enough ball at ground level. The Dockers have taken control there.
Well, what an exciting moment for an 18-year-old. Young Holland getting his 3rd goal to just stretch the margin. Now the Saints need 3 goals in 6 minutes. And it's all happening for Fremantle. Chisholm out wide, Carroll. Kick down the line. It is a kick. Well, the kick missed its target by a long way. It might have gone out on the full. But the indiscretion at half-back means the free kick is with Wills. His kick has been marked by Brown. They've just lifted a bit. They all sense that this is a victory for the taking. Brown's kick into centre forward, and there's Holland again. This boy will want to buy every possible video of this match. He's kicked towards full forward, punched away from Sierakowski by Clement, and that was an infringement against the St Kilda player, and he will take the free kick, David Sierakowski. Out wide, McLaren, nearly run down by Durkay. Mark taken down there by Aussie Jones. Handball away to Burke. Grabbed by the shorts, but able to get the hand pass away. Thompson, 3 goals to Andrew Thompson. Kicks to half forward. And nearly the mark to Chisholm. Diving on the footy, McGovern. Tries to tap it clear for Chisholm. And the ball locked up by Stephen O'Reilly over the top there of Tim Elliott, and it will be bounced. Adrian Barrage.
Robbo, this Dockers crowd is unbelievable. The atmosphere down here, I tell you, they're just willing home their team. They're riding every shot. The mental energy is just unbelievable.
Harvey, quick kick towards full forward. Trinides, lapping the goal here would make things interesting. Thompson's the man who can do it. He's got it. The Saints are still in this. What an effort by Thompson. 4 goals, hasn't missed, and St Kilda now will draw on that match at Subi. There's no question about that. 12-21 to 12-11. They'll fancy their chances from here.
They've got enormous staying power, the Saints, but gee, they've missed Stewie Lowe since he went off the ground across centre half forward. They just haven't had that target to aim the ball at, and they really do need to be able to manufacture something from here.
Well, good effort by Andrew Thompson. 4 goals from 11 kicks. Centre bounces, very, very critical. Wills over the top. Nathan Burke. Thompson again. Well done by Fletcher to hold it up there. Still close to the centre. It's about 10 metres forward of the centre circle, favouring St Kilda. Nathan Burke just gets up a little gingerly.
There's the official AFL website. Every 20 seconds this match will be updated. If you tune into afl.com.au. Burke with Everitt. Burke tried to take it out of the air with a kick, couldn't quite. Harvey will be important in these last moments. Burke tries to get it to Harvey. Harvey, remember how he took the ball out of the centre at Subiaco late in the match. They'll want some magic from him here.
These midfield centre battles are just critical to winning the dying minutes of this game there. They've got the players. Yep. Sorry, they have got the players that can win those battles. They've got Harvey, who's a hard ball winner, Burke, who's a hard ball winner, and Thompson. They're all around the ball at the moment.
Next couple of minutes so critical. Trinides. Bond, is that kicking in danger? It is against Bond, and the free kick will go to Mitchell. I've seen two kicking dangers tonight late in the game. This is a really interesting decision. Watch this. Now Bond, as Mitchell goes for goal, gets a handball off the full forward. Big mark, taken by Elliott. Jones has kicked a goal. The Saints within a kick. Widmar's long ball in after the handball by Mitchell, and Aussie Jones stands tall late in the game. What a grandstand finish now. 12-21 to 13 goals 11.
Well, he's been missing for a lot of the game, Aussie Jones. Just watch this one again. Almost a mark here by Elliott. Jones just waiting at the bottom. And that's where he made his name in AFL football, the crumb.
Well, I think if you follow Fremantle and the Saints get up, it'll be stealth by deception, because the Dockers have certainly done everything to win a game of football. But you just can't discount St Kilda. They are just coming. Fletcher underneath is going to get a free kick, a high tackle. Under 3 minutes left, Wills off the ground. Fremantle by 4 points. Kick by Fletcher into the pocket. Knocked away. The ball spills for Young. Can he get it down the line? He tries to get it to Winmar. Nicky Winmar out the back. Very, very skillfully done to Thompson to Harvey. They're in their positive half now. The ball spills to the back. The race is on. Chisholm gets back. What's he going to do with it? The hearts are in the mouths. Scotty Chisholm, we're watching. Gets it back to O'Reilly. O'Reilly short and Burton's got it. And you wonder, has he got time to waste? He needs to probably move it, get it down into your forward half, and maybe fluke a score. Ball kick. Burt, Nathan Burt down the ground. Kicks in the area of Everitt. Misses the ball at the back. Lappin, pushing it back by Parker. Lappin underneath there, the football, and the umpire will bounce. Under 2 minutes left, and every decision now will be watched very closely by everyone. Spectators here at the WACA, viewers on the television. Everitt, not quite an effective beverage. Winmar, high, marking contest. Elliott and O'Reilly. Elliott, O'Reilly still there. Traianides to try and manufacture something. And the umpire didn't like that, what Jason Heatley said to him. Very quickly, a retort from the central umpire. O'Reilly and Elliott in picture. 1.5 minutes left. The bounce right in front of the St Kilda goal. Spida Everitt, Spida Burton. Spiders everywhere. Fremantle lead by 4 points.
Talk about spiders everywhere. Seen here, the Saints come through as a beverage. I think Scotty Chisholm touched it, he has. Oh, this is like that finish at the Gabba with Wanganeen hit the post against the Bombers in Brisbane that night. It was just so exciting. And Beveridge did everything but kick the goal. It was absolutely on the line, you'd reckon. And Chisholm, who's had a big last quarter as McGovern goes away. Chisholm with 3 or 4 good marks. Not a bad play a moment ago, and then a big play. 93 to 90. Durko misses the mark. Everything is critical here. Off the ground by Chisholm. Out of play. Chisholm having a very good last term here. Boundary throw in about 70 metres away, 80 metres away from the Saints goal. Burton over the top. Taken by Heath. He's had a quiet night, but an important kick inside 50. Mitchell goes to ground. Parker kept his cool. Good handball to Callahan. Big play here. He's got Dodd short. Kicks the ball to Dodd. Now can Dodd draw the opponent? Running with the footy. Goes as long as he possibly can. Clement can't take the mark. Important here. Clement can kick the goal. Goes for it and does it. He's got it. I reckon they're home now. He's left it late to kick his first for the night, but surely the Saints have done 13-21 to 13-12. What a finish, Tim.
Well, you'd have to say that the Dockers deserve to win this game if in fact they do get up. That was the Saints' chance there when they went forward, but then the players were back there in numbers and they had plenty of space to work with, the Dockers, when they went forward again. And Clement the finisher.
See improved play here as Dodd gets the ball to Clement. It's a terrific finish, and the Dockers surely have put this game out of the Saints' reach.
Well, with just half a minute left, Dockers will go forward again. Callaghan to full forward, and it's a mark, certainly a mark, close to the ground. Clement struggled for nearly the whole game to get his first goal just a minute or so ago, and within 15 or 20 seconds he has the chance to kick his second.
And 5 of the Fremantle Dockers players all went up to big Spida Burton then, because it was his knock to Callaghan, and that is the perfect way to set up a goal scoring opportunity. Burton has been quite fantastic tonight.
Well, James Clement from about 35 metres, straight in front, good kick, he's kicked it. So it has been, in my opinion, in a very short period of time, the siren has gone, so the game is over. Fremantle have won. Jared Newsham's happy, but that has been the best performance I've seen from a Fremantle side in this AFL competition.
And isn't that a great scene there? Mitchell, who was belted from pillar to post in this...
Oh, my man at one stage. Here's the club song. Here we go.
Down below.